Hello everyone and welcome to another Sovereign Citizen Watch. How are you all doing? Hope your week's going well so far. Today we have even more failed Sovereign Citizen traffic stops and ProSe appearances to enjoy together as a community. Welcome, welcome. We're almost on a hype train. Let me see what I missed in chat. Anima72826 with 48 months says, hello, Hannah. Hello, how you doing? Thanks for your subscription. Mega Guillotine with 18 months. That's a sub baby. This sub baby name is Mega Decapitated Head. That seems appropriate. So welcome, everyone. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor and hit the like button. Just hit the thumbs up. Helps a lot. Helps new people find the channel. Other than that, if you want to help support the stream and keep it going, you can always use super chats, YouTube memberships, Twitch subs, or bits. Speaking of which, Nemesaur, thank you for gifting 10 tier 1 subs and kicking off a hype train. If you like the show and want to help out, you can always help the hype train by becoming a subscriber, gifting bits, or subscriptions. Jay's Proxy with a 390 stream streak says, the Afro Man trial is amazing, and even if you don't cover it on stream, everyone should watch it. 610 to go. I'll look into it. I'm not super familiar. I know that cops, like, searched his house for some reason. Like, he was accused of some drug thing or something, and then they sued him because he made diss tracks about them? I'm glad he won. Fuck the police. Overthought, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Much appreciated. Kidnapping and drug possession. Oh boy. Fun. Boop, 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 boop. Brain Squid says, just wanted to let you know I sent you stuff. A stuffed animal, a Stampin' Up catalog, and a surprise. Thank you. Appreciate it. Make sure to get that from the P.O. box soon. I know... there's still the package from Green Guy and just a peach, too. Hydrate. They said he had people in his basement being held captive and he doesn't even have a basement. Oh, the Pee-wee's Big Adventure treatment. Yeah, we might have to watch it. That sounds interesting, and people are saying it's funny. Love to cover that. Anyway... So, well, that hype train is going. Let's jump into it with our first traffic stop, shall we?
I know, but you know... To me an issue, mate, only you.
Everything's been recorded, mate.
Is it?
So to try to...
Here's a SovCit from over in the UK.
I know, but you know...
To have insurance, you've got to have a licence. You show me your documentation.
Where does it say that, mate?
Sorry?
Where does it
Under
say
the Road
that?
Traffic Act,
Yeah,
1988.
That's an act which requires consent of the individual to carry any force in law.
Okay.
Paperwork here is to take my consent away. You want to read it?
Yeah, you can pass me whatever you want.
Right.
Tango X-ray 2 Dedos.
The UK cops are always so much friendlier than the American cops.
See, that's the birth certificate.
Do you want to get me another
That's my life certificate, yeah?
Let's have a look.
It's got no name Austin on it, mate. It says Reginald Boy, no surname.
Reginald what?
A boy.
Boy.
No surname. A man, a boy. Right, that's the first document.
Okay.
So did he get a bogus instead of a birth certificate? He called it a life certificate? Did he get like a nonsense sovereign citizen fake life certificate to replace his birth certificate?
There's some more.
You should see the UK airport shows, though. I've seen at least one. I've also seen the Matt Lucas. Is that his name? Matt Lucas? I think he did a show that parodied UK airport shows. That was pretty funny.
There's the SCO 30 documents that proves that the government committed treason, right, and they've got no such a liability.
That's a copy, mate.
Yeah, that's a copy, but
Yeah,
it's,
so where's the
it's a
original
copy of the
document?
original paper. Do you think they're going to get hold of the original? They hide that, mate.
So Reginald Austin, that's you, isn't it?
I'm called Reginald.
Okay, Reginald, at this moment in time, I'm just going to caution you, so you don't have to say anything, but it may harm defence. If you don't mention now, something to later on in court. And if you do say it may be given evidence, and I'm going to point out the offence of driving with no insurance
It's an
driving
offence.
with no licence, okay?
Yeah, that's an offence, mate.
Sorry?
It only becomes an offence when it's through consent.
Mate, you haven't got a licence, so you've got no licence,
Yeah,
so you've got no
one.
insurance.
Do you know what a licence is, the definition?
You pass your test by the DVLA, don't you?
Yeah, I did years ago, yeah.
Okay,
And
so why have you not renewed it?
Because when I started learning about the law, mate, researching the law...
Minute left on the hype train.
Mate, I can't hear the words you're saying. Just put the window down for us and then we can speak.
I will. See that, mate? See that? There's the case file.
Right.
It's always funny to me when they have big files that they expect the police to parse, like you've handed them a file with a variety of legal, or at least what you believe to be legal documents, and you expect them to parse that information at the side of the road and agree with you. That's something, isn't it?
Proves, right?
That's Warrington Borough Council, so what's that?
Yeah, that proves that it's all in there.
2013.
Legislation.
Let's have a look then.
Altered Undying. What do you want me to look up in Black's Law Dictionary?
Legislation has no requirements without consent, mate.
License?
There's my letter of sovereignty, mate, claiming my sovereignty and I do not
Right, so
consent.
this is a letter that you...
Wow, it's literally a letter that says I can do whatever I want. It's almost like it's worthless. Bumble Homestead with 50 bits says, the kitten's a bit congested, so I have her hotboxing sterile saline in a nebulizer box while I'm watching. Poor kitty.
You've sent to your local MP
No,
penalty charge notice.
That's the Baron David
Thank you for the hype train, everyone.
Ward case file. That's a court case where he won in court and he proved that legislation doesn't apply without consent. Implied consent doesn't count, mate. It's got to be explicit consent.
Your laws don't apply to me because I said so. Not the defense that you expect is probably going to work.
There's my affidavit of truth, mate.
Okay, so there's nothing in here that says that you can be driving without a licence and without insurance.
License, a privilege granted by a state or city upon the payment of a fee, the recipient of the privilege then being authorized to do some act or series of acts that would otherwise be impermissible.
Insurance, mate. So you do need a licence, you need insurance.
No, you don't. No,
I am going to be seizing your vehicle today.
That's a presumption, mate,
And if
you
you
know.
refuse to get out of the vehicle, then you will be arrested for obstruction.
Yeah.
I will smash the window and I
Yeah.
will remove you from the vehicle, mate.
You're being served now.
Okay, I don't want to have to smash the window, but I'm going to ask you to open the vehicle and to jump out for us.
I'm not going to do
Mate, take the keys out of the ignition.
I will
mate,
now.
take the
I will
keys
now,
out of the
mate.
ignition.
I will now,
I'll
mate.
smash the window.
that out. All right.
Give me the key to the vehicle.
Oh, are they going to smash?
No,
Alright.
do not
If you
consent,
don't
mate.
open the door, I'll smash the window.
I do not consent.
Right. Doesn't matter about consent. You've got no licence,
Don't film
Do
me.
they have Safe Light in the UK?
no insurance.
I don't need it, mate.
Okay, you do need
No, I
insurance, and you do need a licence to drive on the
No,
road.
legislation says that you
Okay.
require it.
So
On
at
consent.
this moment in
On
time,
consent.
I pointed out the offences, and your vehicle is seized. Okay, so I am going to recover your vehicle.
You're breaking the law, you know,
Is there
mate.
anything I can reasonably say or do for you to remove yourself from the vehicle?
You'd be
Mate, I've
served
read all
again.
that.
That's my affidavit of truth. That's my affidavit of truth. Statement of fact. Unrebutted, mate.
So it's an affidavit truth of
I wrote a bunch of shit in a document and sent it to the government, and because they didn't respond to my utter nonsense, therefore everything I said is true.
fact.
That's an affidavit.
He doesn't have to have a licence, doesn't have to have insurance.
There's the latest one. You're being served them now. If you carry on with what you're doing, mate, you're breaking the law, you know.
They're gonna be breaking your window soon. I did hear Afro Man won. I
You need
did.
to check with your chief constable.
I can say or do that.
Yeah,
You'll come out
yeah.
of the vehicle.
Get your chief constable on radio.
Sorry?
Serena Kennedy.
Chief Constable won't come on the radio.
She's been noticed, mate. She's received the notice and I've got evidence of the notice here.
Mate, you can't drive with no insurance and no
Mate,
licence.
I've
That's
rebutted,
the law.
I've rebutted the presumption of consent, mate. I do not consent to legislation or to be policed by legislation.
So this was because he didn't have insurance? He doesn't have a license either, I believe.
I've done all the paperwork, mate. I've been studying law for 15 years. And if you force legislation, that's coercion.
Yes, this is the UK.
Coercion carries a 14-year sentence, mate, if found guilty. What do you mean it doesn't stand? Because you say it doesn't. That's the law, mate. There's constitutional laws and documents what proves otherwise.
Constitutional laws? You're in the UK. Does the UK have a constitution?
It's not law, mate.
Like, I know that the Magna Carta existed and was, like, historically significant for, like, the first time they tried to, like, chill the powers of the king a little bit by giving barons a certain amount of power, but I don't think they have anything called a constitution in the UK.
An act, it only becomes the enforcement law by consent of the government.
Well, people get convicted of offences, don't they, under the courts?
Yeah, because they don't understand the law like I do. I've been studying law 15 years, mate. Look at me. Have you got your camera on?
My camera's on.
Right, my camera's on as well. You're being recorded.
The UK has what's considered an unwritten constitution. Is it basically just like precedent and tradition? I don't know how it works. Or is it just like the network of all the laws and stuff is considered that? I don't know.
Consent to legislation.
Sorry.
I do not consent to legislation or to be policed by legislation.
That's not how the world works,
it is, mate. Do you know what? Listen. Do you know what creates an obligation, mate? Do you know when you always say, "Are you obliged?" Right? Do you know what creates an obligation, mate? A sign. You're being served, mate, whether you want it or not.
Profane Priestess says the UK has multiple documents. They collectively form their constitution when combined with tradition and laws. Okay.
If you force me against my consent, mate, you're breaking the law, you know. It's called coercion. It carries a 14-year sentence.
No problem.
You've been notified. You do not consent. It's not implied no more, mate. It's explicit with that paperwork. Explicit.
Okay, so just listen to
non-consent. Yeah, go on.
Alright. So is there anything I can reasonably say
Listen,
or do?
do us a favour, mate.
Is there anything I can reasonably say or do?
Pardon?
Is there anything that I can reasonably say
Not reasonably, and it's not your fault.
or do that will get you to exit your vehicle? Okay.
Not really, mate.
Is there anything reasonable that I can do that can get you out the vehicle?
Not
the vehicle's
really,
got
no.
no insurance, it's not taxed.
It doesn't have to be,
and you
mate.
haven't got a license,
It doesn't have to be. I don't consent.
So, the vehicle will be getting seized today.
I don't consent,
I don't
mate.
want to have to remove you from the vehicle.
I
I'd
don't
rather
consent,
you
mate.
get from the vehicle of your own accord.
Well, I'm not going to
Okay.
do that, mate, because I've got no obligation to do so.
Sorry?
I'm not obliged to do so.
You haven't got a license, you haven't got insurance, and there's
I'm
no
not
tax on the
obliged to
vehicle.
do. I'm not obliged to do
You
that.
are by law.
I'm not. Do you know what an obligation is?
Under the Road Traffic Act, you're obliged to have a license.
Yeah, under the Road Traffic Act,
Yes.
right? But I have. Listen to me. I have explicit.
I know I've talked about this many times, but I will never understand the confidence these people have. You are doing something that almost no one else in your country is doing. You are flying in the face of the law and saying, that's not real, actually. And you think you're in the right. I have confidence issues, generally. I cannot fathom what it must feel like to be this confident, to have people, literally, the police, next to your car, telling you you're wrong about the law, and not even a little piece of you goes, maybe I'm misinformed. I will never understand this level of confidence, which is probably a good thing, because apparently it makes you make really dumb choices.
Took my consent away. There's the paperwork to prove it. Serena Kennedy knows she's been informed, and I've got proof that she's been informed. The Prime Minister is being informed, and the DVLA have been informed. It's deregistered from the DVLA, right? The licence has been rescinded, and I've given an affidavit to explicitly tell them that I do not consent to legislation.
So is there anything I can reasonably do to get you to exit your vehicle, sir?
Not really, no, because you're breaking the law. I'm not obliged, mate.
Alright. What?
Oh, it just cuts off. That's a shame. I wonder why he cut off the end of the video. I assume it didn't go very well for him. He posted that 2 days ago. Generty with a 50 stream streak says, sadly I knew someone who would probably agree with this guy. On a lighter note, I had the first meetup of my anxiety group this week and discovered they have a pretty torty cat who keeps turning up at their back door and trying to charm them into letting her in. That sounds nice, having a group like that. The problem is I have a lot of social anxiety, so I'd never actually show up to the group because I'd be too nervous. It's a catch-22. Anyway. What one do I want to do? Oh, let's do the DUI. This DUI is something. Again, this is one where it won't be until about the middle of the video that she starts doing the sovereign citizen stuff and getting into the script, but all of it's important, so we're going to start at the beginning. Harold Elbleman, thanks for a 7-stream streak, says 7 streams. Also, I'm now 39 years and 1 day old. Oh, well, happy late birthday. Wannabe with a 20-stream streak says, I've been blessed with 20 in a row of your streams. Keep up the great work. I will try.
Somebody coming with her.
What's going on with her?
She just had a little bit too much to drink. I don't want her to drive. Somebody's on the way to come get us.
Are you with her?
Yeah, that's my mom.
Okay.
She knows she can't drive. She's a little bit too drunk. We
How'd
just
she
came
get
from
here?
Chili's. Well, we just at Chili's, which is right somewhere.
And she drove here?
Right there. She came from Chili's to here because we started driving. I was like, Mom, she even said I had a little bit too much to drink. I was like, let's park, have someone else come pick us up.
So she drove. The mom, who you'll see is visibly trashed, drove from the Chili's to this parking lot. She did get out, and they're trying to get someone else here to drive for them, but the mom did drive the vehicle while drunk on public roadways. If the mom was maybe chill about this, I don't know if they would have got a warning. I don't know if the cop would have been more lenient. But let me tell you, the mother's behavior is terrible. So, of course, it goes to bad places for her.
So she drove here with you?
Yes.
I also want to say I feel bad for this daughter. The woman talking right now is the woman's daughter. And you can tell she's dealt with the mom's drinking problems before. As a child of 2 alcoholics, my heart goes out to her. I know how that is.
But she's
Why didn't you drive?
I don't drive. I don't have a license.
Remember that the daughter said she doesn't drive. She doesn't have a license.
But I have someone on the way to come get us. She's okay. She just had a little bit too much to drink.
Adam Sam 83 David Adam. Back to inaccurate.
You're okay. I got someone coming to get us. I don't know who called the
Can you
police.
just hang out, just wait over there while I talk to her?
Yeah. Somebody called the police. Whoa, we're not.
Look at her about to manage her adult mom's emotions for her.
I know, that's what I'm telling
Can you
you.
hang out over there
Yes,
for me?
yes, sir.
Just get the out of
No,
here.
don't talk to him like that, Mom. Please do yourself a favor.
Nobody's
Do
driving.
you have your identification on you, ma'am?
No, I don't.
But you do have to provide that to me?
I have not drove today.
Okay.
She did.
So the daughter has already said she does not drive because she doesn't have a license. Now the mom, who is drunk, is including her daughter in a lie without consent. She's just lied and involved her daughter in a lie to a cop, which is not a good thing to do.
Can you give me your identification, please?
I have no identification.
Can you check in your purse?
I did.
It behooves you to
Honey, I have
cooperate.
no identification. I've not drove this car.
Okay.
I drove her friend to this position.
Mm-hmm.
I have no record of driving.
Okay. So can you provide me with your driver's license?
No, I don't have no
Do
driver's
you have ID on you, ma'am? What is her name?
Melissa.
I have not drove.
Melissa what?
You did not. You realized that you were too drunk and you pulled over. Yes. We need to get you home now.
I did not drive us from here to there.
Why are you so mean for, man?
No. She needs to know that I have not been in occupation of this vehicle.
Occupation instead of, oh, why am I blanking on the word now? Operation of this
I
vehicle?
have not been in occupation of this vehicle. She drove.
I witnessed you coming out of the driver's seat
No.
when I pulled up.
You may have witnessed it, but she asked me not to get her because she doesn't have a license.
Uh-huh.
So I have not drove,
Okay.
other than from there to this far. I have not drove other than letting her drive. She told me she had a license.
She told you she had a license?
Yes, she did.
So why did you drive?
You would know if your child had a driver's license or not. Even an adult child, you would know that because it would come into play when you're making plans.
Because she told me asked to go to this
Okay.
place.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you-
It was 3 freaking, yeah. I don't drive. I don't like driving.
Okay, would you mind giving me your license then?
I don't have anything to give you, sir.
Okay. So you're driving without a license as well?
I don't drive.
I just witnessed you coming from the driver's seat.
Yes, but she asked me to move from there to there.
From where to
That, 3 freaking parking spots
Okay.
to this spot.
So why are you being so mean to me?
I'm not being mean,
I feel
love.
you are, because I'm asking for your license, which I know you clearly have, and you're refusing to provide it to me.
I'm telling you, she asked me to move to this spot. That's it.
No.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who's the registered owner of the vehicle, man?
His name Ray.
Who's he to you?
He is my master electrician, sir.
Master electrician?
Yes. Yes.
You're borrowing your electrician's car? Alright, that's an interesting relationship.
Sir.
That's all he is to you? There's no personal
I work
relationship?
for him, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he's your boss! Oh no! Are you master electrician? Are you in some kind of like, what's the word? Why am I blanking on words today? Are you like in an apprenticeship with an electrician? And you borrowed his car, you borrowed effectively your boss's car, and now you're gonna get a DUI in your boss's car? Oh, that's not good. That's so bad.
All right.
I have not drove this vehicle other than that part to this part.
So you drove from that parking lot to this parking
Yes,
lot?
sir.
Okay. And that's when I seen you getting out of the driver's seat and coming over
Yes,
here?
sir.
Where were you at before?
Otherwise, she was having she ate at this place, sir.
What place?
She's about to lose her job, probably.
Behind me, sir.
She ate here?
Yes, sir.
What'd she order?
Chicken.
Chicken?
I think it's here.
Walgreens sells chicken?
No, we came from Applebee's. She drove.
Okay.
Emma, your friend, Stephanie, we dropped off. Where's Stephanie?
Do you have somebody you can call?
No, but where's Stephanie?
I don't know a freaking Stephanie. What are you even talking about? I don't. Talking to Lily.
Do you have anything with your name on it identifying you?
No,
Any type
sir, I
no type of
don't.
identification whatsoever?
Nothing. Her friend Stephanie dropped us off at this spot.
Awesome, thank you. How do you spell her name? Did she have a Florida
I don't know what
license?
she's telling you, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't know.
I appreciate
Stephanie.
that. Does she have a Florida driver's license?
I don't know what she's got. I don't have a good relationship with her
No, I don't think she's on the job when she borrowed the car.
for obvious reasons. I wanted to have lunch with her today. Things just obviously got out of control. Melissa, Melissa.
This poor woman.
I know you don't have one on you, you're saying, but do you have a Florida driver's license?
I don't drive, sir.
So you don't have.
I don't drive. Her friend Stephanie drove here
Okay.
and ran that way.
Okay. Oh, she ran that way?
That's a brilliant drunk lie. There was a sober licensed driver here. They went that away. They just ran as far as they could. Why? I don't know. They're a fan of Forrest Gump. Maybe they got the urge to run across the country. Who knows? Dodger Mutt, thanks for a 7-stream streak.
That way?
Yes,
So we should go look for her that way?
yes, that way.
Okay, we'll do that. But where did you have the license, or do you have even a Florida identification?
I don't have no identification, but that's my daughter.
Okay, I understand that's your daughter.
And I have not drove.
Okay.
Where's Stephanie? Your friend, where is Stephanie? Where is Stephanie, Emma?
Do you have any?
It's funny how when drunk people think they look sober. I've been sober for like 5 years now, something like that, luckily. But let me tell you, there's nothing more embarrassing to be a drunk person thinking that they seem sober. Because, like, the internal experience of that, if people here have never had it, you're focusing incredibly hard. You're focusing all of your little dulled brain power into being a human being, And boy, do you never succeed. You just never do. It's like your mouth doesn't work right, and you're trying to get your mouth to work, but then you forget you got eyes too, and then you gotta focus on the eyes and look normal, but then you lose the mouth. It's bad. It's a bad place to be.
ID on you, man?
See, I have nothing.
No. What's your name?
Emma. E-M-M-A.
All right. We're gonna have a traffic unit come evaluate her. Excuse me?
It's like you're playing a video game with, like, crazy controller lag.
I don't need to be evaluated. Her friend Stephanie.
Mom, there.
Don't even bother arguing. Did you have a ride coming for you? Okay.
Stephanie ran that way.
Okay, we got somebody looking for Stephanie, all right? And you're confirmed there's no Stephanie, correct?
I'm her mother. I've never drove.
Don't do that. Is your mother still alive?
I'm her mother.
I know, but you said on your mother, right?
No, my mom's alive. Yes,
So
absolutely.
why would you swear to your mother that Stephanie went that way?
Stephanie ran. She don't have a license.
What's Stephanie look like?
She's
Earlier in the lie, she did have a license, but now she doesn't have a license, which I guess would explain why she was running, but again, she's fictional, so...
the blonde hair, 5'6", skinny looking meth head.
We've invented a meth head for this story. I don't think she's very good at this.
What was she wearing?
White shirt, black pants.
Did it have any design on it? Any words?
I can't tell you that, sir.
How long were you with? Did Stephanie go out to eat with you guys?
She just offered to drive us.
She just offered to drive you and your...
Yeah.
She sat at the Applebee's and didn't eat.
Personal
One of my
mechanics.
friends that gave me a ride to my job, I don't know her that well. Her name's Stephanie. I have not been under that wheel.
And the owner of this vehicle knows that
Yes.
you took the car so Stephanie could drive.
Yes, I know. I'm going to tell you the truth.
What's the no part of it?
I work for him as a master electrician.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. She drove the car from there and
Okay. What's his phone number? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Can you check your cell phone number and get that?
Don't know your boss's phone number?
No, I don't have a phone with me, sir.
And she doesn't have a phone. I don't know about that.
I'm sovereign, not a cattle.
You're a sovereign citizen as well now?
Yes, I am. I have put a 1040X on,
There we go.
and I'm no longer a part of the Federal Reserve. You cannot arrest me with any kind of signature. I am sovereign.
We don't use signatures to arrest people. We use
No,
handcuffs.
my mother sent, my mother put my social security in my first birth certificate with me being an infant with not acknowledgement. And I put a 40X on myself, and I am a sovereign being, and you cannot arrest me under that law.
What?
Okay, so she thinks that her mother gave her up to the government via birth certificate when she was a child, but when she was an adult, found out about the sovereign citizen stuff, filed some bullshit paperwork with the government, and thinks that means she's immune. Okay.
Why are you yelling at me?
I'm just telling you right now, I am sovereign. I'm not part of the group of the Washington State. You can't do nothing to me.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. Look it up.
So explain the 1040X to me. I'm not familiar.
The 1040X means the Federal Reserve freaking had my mother sign my social security and my birth certificate without my acknowledgement, and I sent a 1040X, and now I'm not part of the Federal
Your parent doesn't sign your social security card, you do.
Reserve, and you cannot arrest me on sovereignty. You cannot. You cannot. I am sovereign. You cannot arrest me.
Can you
I
spell
am sovereign.
I don't care if I spell sovereign the way you want to. I am sovereign. Just look up 1040X. Look it up. 1040X. I don't have to spell it for you. I am not part of the system no more.
Not a part of your system.
My birth certificate? Nothing. You can't do nothing to me. can't do
Could we get you some coffee, maybe?
She normally like this, like when she's on a. Is that her behavior?
She's a drunk.
Your parents signed the very first Social Security card you get as a baby? Is there a separate infant Social Security card?
So she's normally.
Because I have had one Social Security card my entire... Oh, well, I guess after my name change, I got a second one with my name. But like, I don't... Do babies have different ones? Hydrate.
So in other words, yes.
Would you happen to know who owns this vehicle by any chance or phone number for them? Does she have?
Yes, Ray. She works for this guy named Ray doing electrical work. It's his mom.
Yeah. Do you have a phone? Does she have a cell phone?
She should.
I'm sovereign.
Okay, so she's lying about not having a phone.
Ma'am, I see a cell phone right there. Can you pull your cell phone out?
That's
Give me right.
I can see your cell phone.
My phone, I'm not going to give it to Ray. You have no authority to give it to my boss.
I'm just asking for his number.
I'm not going to give it to you because by law, you don't have the authority to do so. Because I know law.
She educated the shit out of me.
I am definitely educated.
Why are you so screaming at me? Because I'm not yelling at you. I don't appreciate that.
I greatly appreciate that you take the bad people off of. Take the immigration. The people of America that want to keep our...
I'm sorry, did she just say... What? Wait, what?
I don't appreciate that.
I greatly appreciate that you take the bad people off of. Take the immigration.
Did she just... Okay, I don't feel bad anymore. Fuck this lady.
People of
Weird casual racism.
America that want to keep our beautiful city
But
together.
I thought you're sovereign.
I am
That
sovereign.
would make you an immigrant of America.
She's a sovereign citizen, but she cares deeply about who enters the country for some reason. The hypocrisy is incredible. Chromatic Cuttlefish with a 40-stream streak says her poor daughter having to deal with all this, not to mention taking her life in her hands every time she has to get in a car with someone pissed to the eyeballs. No kidding. This kid should go no contact if she can with the mom. This is terrible.
I'm not an immigrant. I was born here in New York.
You can't be both. You can't be an American and sovereign. You understand that?
I am not part of the
Stop
reserve.
screaming at me.
I'm sorry, sir.
You're welcome.
I'm going to lower my temperament and I apologize.
But do you understand that part?
But I understand when
once
my...
you separate yourself from the American government, you then become an immigrant.
But I also signed the paper
you're an
of the
immigrant.
1040X. No, I am not part of the Federal Reserve. I am
that
sovereign.
makes you a not American citizen, right? A
No,
sovereign
I am
citizen.
an American citizen, not part of the Corporation of Washington, D.C. Sir, I know.
It's hard enough to parse the sovereign citizen nonsense normally. Doing it while drunk is not helping.
Where I am.
That would make you an immigrant.
No, I'm not an immigrant. I live here.
Yeah, she sounds real. Wow, she got really angry at being called an immigrant. Ooh, yikes.
I'm not a cat.
This lady is a nightmare sober as well, I would imagine.
So do immigrants.
I am not a cattle. I was born in New York, Long Island, Port Jefferson. My mother signed a paper she didn't know that she signed away from me. I took away from that right. So now I'm an American citizen, not a cattle.
So you're not a sovereign citizen, you're an American citizen.
I'm an American citizen, not part of Washington, D.C. Corporation. Not as my kids will be.
1040X is an amended U.S. individual income tax return form. Yeah, I'm not sure why they specifically would think that form would do anything.
As well.
I love you, Mom. Just please calm down.
Just gotta take it easy, man.
A cattle? She's calling United States citizens sheeple, basically.
Just telling you, I will not be part of the system.
No, she wasn't equating immigrants with cattle. She was comparing citizens to cattle for obeying the law.
I will not be part of the beast system. I'll be
Do you
part
live
of
local
it.
here, or do you live in
She lives in
Sarasota?
Sarasota. I don't know exactly where she lives. Somewhere like
So
right
Piper
in
Place. So
I live on Piper Place. I live in Sarasota.
you live in Piper Place. So she doesn't live at 36 something type of place?
She gets mail there. She used to, and then her and my dad separated.
So that's your address?
That's my address.
That's my baby girl. Let's go. Fight for America. We're the only country that.
Okay, Miss Gibbs, I understand all that.
We fight for
How
America?
about you just lay back and calm down, all right? This ain't
I
good.
just love God. God gave us a sovereign nation.
We'll pray for yourself right now, okay? We'll pray for you. Just sit
She's doing great.
back and relax yourself.
That's my
I wonder who she voted for.
I understand.
Please fight for our country. 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 The bridge attack, the Taiwan attack. You know going to be somewhere in here. Please fight for our country.
Can I give her a hug?
Oh my god, can I give her a hug? This poor, poor, poor kid. Guarantee this mother has been forcing this child to manage her emotions for her since she was old enough to talk. This is kind of triggering for me.
They don't get it.
My mom also made me her primary emotional support when I was younger. It was awful. It was just awful, and it fucked me up a lot.
You're either gonna go to heaven or hell. That's it.
And seeing another person, an adult person, still stuck in this dynamic makes me very sad.
No, I love them. They defend us. Do the right thing. They're left.
No.
They're gonna
They're
go.
having a conversation amongst each other.
No, they're gonna
Not
go.
everything's about
No, guess what? If you decipher one way or the other, you will be gnashing your teeth. You will be gnashing your teeth, and so will your family.
Okay, I'm going to read you your Miranda rights, all right? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can't go against the court of law. You have the right to talk to an attorney and have MRI questions before entering a question. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, you will be appointed representation at no cost to you before you enter a question and answer question. You decide anytime exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any mistakes. You understand these rights I've explained to you. Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us?
I hope so,
No.
Harold Elberman.
I'm gonna leave here and have my friend pick up the call.
Okay. Could you provide us more information on Stephanie?
No, I have the right to remain silent.
I understand that.
So go.
But we're trying to find Stephanie, correct?
Yes, I don't know where she ran. So go find her.
The woman I made
But
up.
we need some information.
I don't have no
Stephanie.
information because I have no right to remain silent.
I wish I could help you guys. I don't have his
Yeah, I'm
number.
not speaking.
Besides,
I've never even met the
I have a beautiful daughter, and I'm not
Yeah, you're
leaving.
more than free to go if you.
Stephanie will be back. Bye.
I hate leaving you. Can you please get a hold of me as soon as you can? I love you too. Please just get your shit together.
Oh, this poor. Oh, God.
Pray for you, Mom. Thank you guys.
I know law.
How old
And
is
I
it?
love you. I'm 48, sir. I should be a lawyer. I'm asking you to look
How
up
about that?
1040X.
But I'm asking you to show me that.
I don't have to. Look it up for
Don't hurt-
yourself.
don't hurt yourself.
Nobody told me to ask you to ask
But
me.
you're claiming that that's what you represent, so you would have to provide that proof.
I
glad you
exempt
got out of that,
myself from
Dodger
the Federal Reserve. It's your responsibility now to know when someone says look for a 1040X is on your responsibility. I did my responsibility.
She'd never pass the bar. She wouldn't even pass a breath test right now.
No, it's the same as
No,
if,
it's not.
listen, it's the same as if somebody
It's not.
if a police officer pulled me over, I would have to
Jesus,
provide
God, please help me, Jesus.
him. Let me explain to you. We're having a conversation. We're
Just
having
give
an
me a
interview.
second. I just
Okay.
need a prayer.
Okay.
Jesus. Just, we're living a lie. We're living a lie. We're living a lie. They're attacking us. I'm not a crazy person. Listen to me. 1040X. Please do it on your own reserve if you care.
You would have to provide that information.
I don't have to. That's why I'm sovereign. I'm sovereign. I don't have to give you a damn nothing.
Then I don't have to believe that you signed a 1040X unless you provide me with that information.
I gave you it.
You didn't get it.
Melissa 1040X. You show me in the Constitution that I have to show that I have another person to show me that I have the right. Go to your car and look it up and show me.
Show you what?
What you're trying to tell me that I have to give my friggin' boss.
Well, look, I'm trying to explain.
How early did she start drinking? It doesn't look that late in the day. They went to lunch at Applebee's. This is how trashed she got at a fucking Applebee's.
I'm a passenger.
Like, do they... Will they even serve you this much at Applebee's?
I'm telling you, a passenger. I will have him tow this truck to his authority and I will not drive.
Okay,
you show me otherwise.
But before
Show me
I
otherwise.
thought it was Applebee's.
Show you what?
The law.
So Florida State statutes, Grand Theft Motor Vehicle statute.
I have no grand theft.
I would need to confirm that this vehicle is
It
not
don't
stolen.
matter what you have to say. You show me the statute.
Is she drunk enough that she doesn't know she's getting arrested?
What? It's
Like, this is happening. You are going to get arrested.
beyond that, but I never got behind the wheel.
Like I said, as I was pulling in, I witnessed her get out of the driver's seat.
That's not true. Stephanie ran that way. I never drove this car.
She said it was another person, Stephanie, with her daughter was with her. She said Stephanie does not exist.
Yes.
They came from the Chili's, had some drinks.
Yes,
they drove from the
sir.
Chili's over here.
Yes.
That's her
See, now they're saying Chili's. I thought they said Applebee's earlier.
poor parking
I
situation.
never drove.
So her daughter said Stephanie doesn't exist?
Yeah.
No, my daughter said Stephanie did it. Call her.
Hey, Melissa.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Good, how are
Hey,
you?
come talk to me out here real quick.
Would you like me to get out of the car, sir?
Yeah. If you don't mind.
I didn't drive, so I'm not going to do any kind of driving because I will not drive because I was always in the passenger seat. So
It's all the same shitty food. I guess I don't understand why I'm not against going to relatively cheap sit-down restaurants. Like, Applebee's is the bottom tier of what is considered a chain sit-down restaurant. So is Chili's. Fine. But if you're going at that level, you could go to, like, Olive Garden. At least Olive Garden, like, gives you a bunch of Parmesan cheese if you want. I don't know. I just can't ever imagine wanting to go to Applebee's over, like, an Olive Garden or even, like, a Red Lobster. I don't know.
my citizenship and my constitutional rights would not, behind that wheel, other than him, that does not have any video surveillance. So
Just a Peach with a $1 tip says, if they're in Washington, the bartender is getting a fine along with the restaurant. Ooh.
I will not do any tests.
Wonder, she might also have stuff in her purse. My mom did that. She carried around a bottle of vodka with her in her purse and took swigs when she thought no one was paying attention.
Because
You know, she'd go to the bathroom and then come back smelling like vodka.
I have been studying law and I know my rights, so I'm going to sit in this car and you can decide what you want to do, sir.
Okay, you don't want to walk over here?
No.
Okay, well, I'm going to read you something real quick, okay?
Yes, sir.
So you have the right to remain silent?
No, he
Anything
raised
I would put Chili's above Applebee's.
Say Ken will be...
Applebee's is basically bottom tier sit-down restaurant, and then you have, like, your Chili's and your Bennigan's, but I think Applebee's is the worst in that regard. All the Applebee's food tastes microwaved. I'm sure many of these restaurants microwave shit, but the Applebee's stuff tastes microwaved more often than not, in my experience.
Oh, he already did. He
Yeah.
already did my Memorandum rights.
You have the right to
I
talk to
don't
an attorney,
need
have
you
them
to do
present
it
before
twice.
during question.
I don't. I have the
If you
right to
cannot
not
afford
have to do it
hire an
twice.
attorney, want to be appointed
I
representative,
have the
it'll
right
cost you
to
a
do
report
it
during questioning
twice.
if you wish.
I have the right to do it twice in law. He already
You can decide
gave me.
anytime the
He
FCC
already,
rights to
did
answer
you
any
not,
questions
or
make any
did you?
statements.
Did
What
you
is she saying she has the right to do twice?
give me my Miranda rights, sir?
Do you,
No, no, sir. Did you give me my Miranda rights? Tell him that no, you don't have the authority 2 times. I know that
Do you
by
understand
law.
each of these rights I've explained to you? Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me?
I'm sitting in my passenger seat and waiting for my driver
Okay,
to come back.
having those rights in mind, do you want to talk to me?
No, I already talked to that guy and I don't have to talk to you. By my rights.
Okay. Hey, step out of the car, okay?
No,
Step out of the car.
no.
Step out of the car, Melissa.
I don't have to.
You kind of do.
No, I really don't. I know my rights. I study law.
Okay, come on. Come here.
You don't have a right.
Come here.
Maybe if you studied law as closely as you study the drink menu, you'd be in a better place right now.
What did I do wrong?
It's a pretty long list, honestly.
No, you're under arrest.
For what?
DUI.
I didn't drive, sir. You never saw me drive. What
Stephanie
right?
saw you in actual physical.
No, he did not. Stephanie ran.
5429 Gray Chevy
What
to
am I-
Robert Lodge,
I
4603
was
Wendy
never in the
Hemingway.
driver's seat, sir. He has nothing on video, he told me. He has nothing on video. He saw a girl running away. I don't know why I'm getting arrested. Sorry, I never drove the car. I've been in the...
At no point did he say he saw a girl run away. You said a girl ran away.
passenger seat.
You never drove my car?
I never drove that car, sir.
Driver's seat, please. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Can I have
And
my...
watch your hand.
Yes, sir.
I'm honestly kind of shocked. Have we seen that one before? Because this is from a while ago. I don't remember watching it, though, and that was really interesting. I do wonder what her charges ended up being specifically, and if she was convicted of all of them, or which she was convicted of. Anyway, what's up next? Some court stuff, probably. Let's try this one. This one is courtesy of Team Skeptic once again. I'll skip over his commentary, but if you want to see more Sovereign Citizen videos, Team Skeptic has some pretty good ones over on his channel.
All right, and then I have Mr. Shadowins by WebEx. This is 25T448, 25M318, 25M352, 25M...
Our Sovereign Citizen is the gentleman in the bottom middle with the cap on.
375, 25M395, which are all People v. Joseph Shadowins. Checking to see if Natalie Chantal is on WebEx. Not hearing a response. All right, so Mr. Shadowins, I have reviewed the report that was provided by the Office of Civil and Forensic Mental Health. They emailed you December 5th to initiate the evaluation assignment to an evaluator. You responded that same day saying, "Good morning, the order is illegal given absent proof of jurisdiction that was challenged in retaliation for exposing crimes."
That's the best thing to say to anything a court sends you, is just send something back saying, "That's illegal!"
I do not consent to an evaluation, and stated that on record. Judge said, quote, "You don't have to talk to mental health. Thank you for your time and consideration. Merry Christmas." So, Mr.
So sounds like he was trying to avoid a competency evaluation?
Shadowins, you have two options at this point. One, you can agree to cooperate with the evaluator and have an evaluation conducted, signing any releases that are necessary for the evaluator to obtain records and evaluate you. That's one option. The second option is that I issue a warrant for your arrest and order that you be held without bond.
I don't know if this will make this funnier for you guys or not, but there appears to be what is a minor in the top right. So when this guy starts screaming at the judge, a teen may be listening.
Until that
If it makes it funnier for you. If it doesn't, ignore I said that.
evaluation is completed. And I would like to say that they will have that evaluation done within the statutory time frame, but it is rare that that happened. So you would be in custody potentially for up to, well, I wouldn't be surprised, 30 days. Which would you like to choose, sir?
Romantic Cuttlefish says, I saw a video recently from Judge Simpson's court with Live One. He was claiming to be Benjamin Franklin's son, and he was being hauled away for a forensic psych evaluation, and suggesting so was Judge Simpson. I actually saw that video, too. That was a wild one. That guy, I hope he gets the help he needs, because he was not on the same planet as you and I.
For the record, Joseph Wayne Shadowin's grantor and beneficiary, appearing by special appearance to settle these matters. Good morning, trustee.
He's calling the judge the trustee because he thinks that this is under a trust, and he thinks that if he makes the judge the trustee, then the trustee has to do what's best for the trust, and therefore the trust can't be adjudicated guilty by the judge because they're the trustee, and that would not be in the best interests of the trust, which they think that their legal identity, strawman paperwork, is a trust.
So, did I or did I not?
The way you're showing the video, it cuts off the upper right-hand person. Yeah, you don't need to see them. They're not involved in this court case. That's the teen. I'd rather keep their face off, to be honest.
Not waive the court.
Sir, I do have jurisdiction over this matter. We've discussed it before.
Answer the question, please. Yes or no. Did
I
or
don't
did
have
I
to
not?
answer your questions,
I don't have
Mr.
to answer to
Shadowins.
you. I'm here to settle this matter, Your Honor. I have not
Oh yeah, you can see the teen's mom peeking in. There she is.
seen any certified accounting nor charging instruments, bid performance payment bonds. A full record of all certified accounting is demanded. My right to settle these matters via set-off settlement, discharge, and closure of all accounts via equitable subrogation is demanded.
None of that.
Equitable subrogation. Subrogation, to my knowledge, is when someone else steps into your shoes legally and adjudicates in your stead. Sort of like when insurance payouts, like if you get an insurance payout, the insurance company might get the right of subrogation where they can effectively sue the person responsible for the accident as if they were you to recoup the losses they had from your payout. I do not know why he thinks that's relevant here. Jay's a proxy with a Black's Law Dictionary. That word? Okay, I'll look it up.
Notice of motion order.
Hold on. Ugh.
To revoke, revest the trust.
None of
Your
that is.
jurisdiction is again challenged and must be proven. That's both IMREM and statutory jurisdiction.
So,
I
Mr.
have not threatened these
Shadowins,
matters. I have not been off. I haven't even had an offer. So you have ruled from the bench. Let the record show you have ruled from the bench, issued a void judgment with a lawful jurisdiction challenge unproven. That the
They literally already told you that they have jurisdiction, sir. They ruled on that.
state on two occasions raised themselves, not affording me the right to a rebuttal. Prove up the claim of jurisdiction or cease and desist. Now, a full accounting record, certified accounting, is demanded. My right to equitable subrogation is demanded.
This is a
as I've mentioned multiple times, the court does have authority over this matter.
I have jurisdiction
Sir,
because I
Mr.
say so.
Shadowins,
It's not
you
evidence. It's a
interrupt
question of
me.
evidence. Prove up the claim. Be still. Do not
Be still.
threaten me again.
Okay.
You
Woo!
will provide the accounting.
Subrogation. The substitution of one party for another whose debt the party pays, entitling the party paying party rights, remedies, or securities that would otherwise belong to the debtor.
Or you will talk to federal agents. That it's over.
Thank
Now
you,
it's
Mr.
over.
Shadowin.
Dismiss this case. Throw this out right now. Or you're getting
Thank-
sued, Judge. You're getting
Thank you.
sued, trustee. Do not threaten me again.
Thank you,
My right
Mr.
to
Shadowin.
Threatening the judge isn't a smart move.
Abrogation is demanded.
Also, you can't sue a judge like this over, like, you can't sue a judge personally for a ruling that they make that you don't like. That's not how this works.
You will not use my service-connected disability.
Demon Trigger with 40 bits says, just got out of a Teams meeting telling us all about the non-citizen people we aren't allowed to give food stamps to due to the big bullshit bill, but at least Bezos gets to keep more money for his mega yachts. Yeah, everything's terrible, I know.
Against me for issues the state has created. Now I have clean hands. I will not participate in public and private conflict. Now settle these matters.
Okay. So the court is going to issue a warrant.
Court's going to do nothing. The court will do nothing. The court's
The
jurisdiction
court
is
is
changed.
issuing warrants. I'm going to have to mute you, Mr. Shadowens, because I have to make a record. All right, so I'm muting Mr. Shadowens.
Still talking while muted, of course.
So I do find that I have jurisdiction over this matter under Article 6 of the Colorado Constitution, Sections 1 and 16, as well as 13-6-106. I have subject matter jurisdiction under the Colorado Constitution, Section 17, and statutes 18-1-
I think it's his real name.
201, 13-6-106. I have jurisdiction over traffic infraction matters under Articles 1 and 16 of the Colorado Constitution and 42-4-1708. I have subject matter jurisdiction under Colorado Constitution, Section 17, and Colorado Revised Statute 42-4-1708. I also
Pretty thorough ruling. Sounds like she has a lot of citations.
have personal jurisdiction
Did he disconnect from the call? He turned his camera off.
over Mr. Shadowens based on issuances of a summons in 25T448.
Would it be a spoiler to tell you all by the end of this hearing he gets a bench warrant for his arrest?
In 25M395. In 25,
I'm actually not sure which judge this is. It doesn't say in the description or anything. Her voice sounds familiar, so I think we've heard her before.
I have a complaint and information in that case. I have in 25M, I have also a complaint and information. And I have in 25M318, I have a complaint and information in that case as well. So I do have the charging documents have been served on the defendant. So I do have personal jurisdiction over him. I am going to issue warrants in each of these cases, and they will be no bond holds because Mr. Shadowens is refusing to participate in a competency evaluation. He will be held without bond in each of these 5 cases, pending completion of the evaluation, and I will issue new orders for an in-custody evaluation upon him being taken into custody. I'm now going to go ahead and unmute Mr. Shadowens.
Just the calmness of I'm about to unmute. He's gonna take this fine. He's gonna take this great.
But I have made my ruling. Thank you.
So this was now
You go ahead and
to go full fucktard and crash out on
Strike 1, Team Skeptic.
the judge.
if you go ahead and put men in harm's way because of a controversy that you created via aggravated identity theft, fraud, waste, abuse, embezzlement, and tax evasion, The thief is caught and must repay. Now you are a trustee and a secondary obligor. I will have nothing to do with public and private conflict that you yourself created after demanding settlement by my right of subrogation. Are you allergic to money? Do you not want to get paid? You have no victims. Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
Now you want to
Shadowins.
use my mental health, my service-connected disabilities, that you are clearly aggravating yourself, deny me the treatment that I'm already in and exceeding. I'm actually leading multiple treatment groups, but you want to play the victim and the blame game while
Yeah, I have no idea if obligor is a real word.
acting as a tyrant and a
One that is obliged to do a thing is what he is going for.
menace to society.
Thank
So
you,
you can
Mr.
do all the void
Shadowins.
judgments you want to. For the record, trustee Teresa Kilgore has yet again ruled.
That's the judge, Teresa Kilgore.
Ruled from the bench under Vice Admiralty color of law, issuing void judgments, knowingly putting men in harm's way, threatening the life of a disabled
It
veteran.
appears to be an actual word. Well, there you go.
Thank you, Mr.
So you
Shadowins.
will cease and desist. Your orders are null and void. You
I said it, so it's true.
have 72 hours to report to me with full accounting. My right to equitable subrogation is demanded. Your jurisdiction, subject matter, in res, and stat is again challenged and cannot proceed absent evidentiary proof of jurisdiction.
She already gave you many citations for the jurisdiction being proper. You're not even addressing any of the citations she made. You're just saying, no, I don't accept that. Which isn't how any of this works.
Thank you,
I
Mr.
have jurisdiction
Shadowins.
because I said, I'm not done speaking. Don't interrupt me.
I am
Sit
going
down
to
and
turn you
shut
off.
up.
So,
Step
Mr.
down. You're a criminal clown. Who do you think you are?
This call
I would
will be
also
recorded.
find that
How
Mr.
dare
Shadowins is
dare you?
engaging in
Repent.
engaging in direct contempt. I am going to.
Yeah, I think at the end when you start yelling repent at the judge, you're probably not doing super well. Hydrate. He called her a criminal and a clown and told her to repent. Hydrate.
Mute him at
You
this
are in
time.
contempt. You have a
Well, that was she dicks here with
Back.
So this is him after being picked up. This is the guy. He has been arrested. Surprise.
Yeah, there is one that was issued on November 21st of 2025. So I think they do that out of the clerk's office. Maybe they have it's just a form that they send out. Yeah, they send that out that way. All right. Back on the record in 25T448, 25M318, 25M352, 25M375, 25M395, all people v. Joseph Shadowins, who appears by WebEx from the Teller County Jail. I also have Mr. Machechik, District Attorney, present by WebEx. I have Mr. Gologly present by WebEx. And I don't know if there's any information that you might have, Mr. Gologly?
Yes, Your Honor, I did speak to Mr. Shadowins. He indicated that he would like to remain silent, but that he would speak with the evaluator. So that is our request today, is that he be allowed to do that out of custody.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Shadowins, what we're going to do is set a court date for receipt of that competency evaluation. You are ordered to cooperate with the evaluator, as I mentioned. If you choose not to cooperate, and the result of the lack of cooperation is not the result of a developmental disability or mental disability, Your non-cooperation with the competency evaluator and other personnel providing ancillary services may be admissible in a competency or restoration hearing. When you are non-cooperative, an opinion of competency may be rendered by the evaluator based upon other information they have in the file, confessions, admissions, and any other evidence of circumstances surrounding the commission of the offenses, as well as the known medical and social history of the defendant.
It's weird to me that the uniform is like striped and green. He looks like Blue's Clues guy went to prison. Steve, that's his name.
And the opinion may be admissible into evidence at your any competency or restoration hearing. You are also ordered, if you choose not to talk to the evaluator, you are still ordered. And so if the court gets a report that you have failed to provide releases of information to the CHDS people or to the evaluator so that they can obtain your records, then regarding mental health, then that will also be a violation of this order and may result in a warrant for your arrest, revocation of bond, and a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to make sure that you have a copy of this.
Paradona says, Blue's Clues Steve special episode, Steve goes to jail. Actually, if you look at the current lore of Blue's Clues lore, as of the Blue's Clues movie that came out several years ago, Steve went to college and he became a detective, and now he's an actual detective in the big city. Keep up with my Blue's Clues lore. Subscribe to my Blue's Clues lore playlist.
Send this order that was issued back on December 2nd to you, so you have.
What is the big city? A city that's large. It's a big one.
You can review it. And we'll set that next court date, which will be, I guess, maybe 60 days or so.
I think 60.
Mm-hmm.
Who's my favorite, Steve or Steven? Steve Irwin, let's say. I don't know.
27th at 8:30.
April 27th at 8:30. And let me think what else. Oh, I am well, we did not revoke bond yesterday because I had hoped that you would make a wise decision about cooperating with the evaluation and
Steve is a cop. ACAB applies to him too. Unfortunately, he's a private detective. He doesn't work for the police force. So I guess that depends on how you feel about private detectives.
Be able to allow you to be released from custody. I will so I don't really have to reinstate the bonds because we did not revoke them yesterday.
You issued warrants.
I'm sorry?
You issued warrants that nearly led to the neighborhood being burned down. After
what?
I revoked and revested the bonds to recoup damages created from, okay, so that issue does need to be addressed. I will allow counsel to handle that since you appointed counsel. If you issue warrants, which the sheriff's refused to provide upon request and
at least he's chiller now. Altered Undying says, from what I understand, a big city is any city big enough, or is any city big enough that it has a midnight meat train, from what I know from Clive Barker, and I always trust Clive Barker. I still haven't seen Midnight Meat Train. I should. I haven't seen it. Sergeant Sharp, thanks for 6 months of membership on YouTube, says not sure what to say, so blahai, that is all.
911 phone call demanding warrants. So what are you doing? I showed up to settle the matter.
No,
you can't just show up and say they don't have jurisdiction. That's not how this works.
Sure, you understand that Mr. Gologly can represent you while you're in custody, but if you wish to have the assistance of a public defender after you're out of custody, you will have to apply for their services, which means you have to go to the office of the public defender in Colorado Springs and submit an application along with proof of your income.
Columbo was a cop, still ACAB. Columbo is the one exception to ACAB. He's a fictional character, first of all, which helps certainly. But secondly, his whole thing is going after the affluent, the privileged who think they can get away with murder, and that's pretty cool.
For the past 30 days, because unless you want me to take your testimony regarding your income, I mean, I guess I could.
Have I ever pitched Columbo like that to you guys? If you haven't seen Columbo, it's a detective show whose whole premise is basically rich, wealthy, full of themselves people commit murder, and then schlubby Lieutenant Columbo shows up, working class kind of behaving guy, and he nails them. It's really good.
Assist in that way, but I can't, just to let you know, the public defender they have rules they have to follow.
I understand. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
The issue of bond is you issued warrants after I showed up to settle the matter for set-off, settlement, discharge, and cancellation.
Okay, that wasn't on the table.
You revoked and revested and then sent men with guns and badges over a misdemeanor without showing me the charging instruments, without showing me any evidence. So I mean, settle the matter, Your Honor.
Slowing your tone.
Thank you.
Did the attorney just tell him to lower your tone?
The matter, Your Honor.
Slowing your tone.
Thank you, Mr. Shadowends. My role in this case is simply to be the judge in the case. The prosecutors of these matters, that is the district attorney's office. And so that it is not my job to dismiss these cases at this stage, all right?
I'm adjudicating for the state. I don't even know who this man is. This is like the fifth guy. I have no evidence. So I'll go talk to an evaluator so you all can play the crazy card. Okay?
Thank you.
I'll just handle it with $100 million tort claims. Like, you don't have a victim here. You almost burned down a veteran community with void judgments.
I'm so curious what he's claiming is the neighborhood almost getting burnt down.
With 3 lawful jurisdiction challenges on the table. Like, you could
She already ruled on the jurisdictional challenges. They're no longer on the table.
say I'm incompetent, Your Honor. I haven't raised the issue. I'm at common law. You're at some other admiralty law, as evidenced by prima facie evidence behind you.
Lower your voice.
Oh no! Prima facie evidence behind her being the gold fringe flag. I have not heard the gold fringe flag argument in years. Happy to see it back.
That's just the way I talk, brother. I'm not yelling at a judge. She can hear me. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm being disrespected. This is kidnapping. Straight up, and you all know it is.
Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Shadowends. I don't want you to start getting escalated. You escalated yesterday to the point where you were calling me names. I didn't find you in contempt of court yesterday, but I don't want you to get escalated at this stage, because then I will be, contempt of court, direct contempt, calling judges names and yelling at them can result in a jail sentence. All right? So just keep that in mind. Thank you, Mr. Shadowends. Thank you, deputies.
What is the ruling?
The ruling is that I do have jurisdiction. I am not dismissing any of these cases, sir.
Of all the
You could tell he was trying to talk after that, too. All right, here's a second case. This is a different sovereign citizen.
25 CR 745 People versus Michael Stanley. And we are here on a possible disposition. Mr. Stanley, we have several motions pending. I know several of them are yours, and I'm going to be issuing all of those here shortly. Mr. Hillier also had a motion. Have you seen the people's motion as to the request for evaluation?
Jay's Proxy said, February 23rd, 2026, Joseph W. Shadowins, which was the previous defendant. Date of birth, September 8th, 1980, of Woodland Park, Colorado, was arrested on multiple warrants for 4 counts of failure to comply with original charges of failure to display proof of insurance, fictitious plates, driving under restraint, driving an unregistered vehicle, false reporting ID to police, 2 counts of harassment, false reporting a crime, trespassing, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. This was a no bond arrest. Oh boy, he stacked up a bunch, didn't he?
No, sir.
All right, that was not filed under seal, I believe?
Not under seal, Your Honor.
No, and so it's available to him. So basically what the people are asking me, and I wanted to hear from you on this, that's one of the reasons I want to talk, is they're asking me to order an evaluation for your competency based on your filings.
That's how you know your filings are so good.
I think that's pretty ridiculous. I think once you see the other motions and the language in them, they're pretty straight to the point, and what's contained
I think my ramblings speak for themselves.
on the record backing that up, the fine lining should come through to all parties. It's a pretty common tactic by them to try to do that when they know they're backed in the corner and don't have much of a case, such as this case. So it wouldn't be the first time I heard that, but I would say that I'm probably pretty competent according to the language in the motions.
Mr. Hillier, I don't know if you have any further record to make in this matter. You know, obviously, I think that I recognize the content of the motions to be of a particular outlook, but I guess I wanted to find out if there was any record you're requesting.
No additional record. The people would still request a competency evaluation. I've reviewed Mr. Stanley's motions, and while there is legal language in there with some sort of goal in mind, we do rest on the language.
It's like he's trying to communicate with me. I know it.
Language of our motion, which we don't mean to be sounding insulting, but quite.
Objection. We already know about their trying to keep me in proximity of the victim and their genius of that.
Wow, he didn't even wait for the judge to say anything before he went off on his thing of the objection.
Sure, I mean, this whole comment, it's a pretty obvious what they're trying to do.
I understand. I heard from you. We'll hear from him as well.
Garbage.
You can finish your comment there.
Thank you, Your Honor. We do believe a competency motion is or a competency evaluation is appropriate at this time. We don't believe that the motions, for the most part, don't make any particular legal sense, and we therefore believe that given the volume of motions the defendant has filed, the nature of those motions, we do believe a competency evaluation is appropriate at this time.
I'm not going to order a competency evaluation at this time. Once again, I recognize the content for what it is. I understand it's a...
Oh my God, he looked back at the attorney smugly.
I mean, the word we use is sovereign citizen language in there. What I'm telling you right now is, because I want to address real briefly, we got a letter that I published to the people. I don't know if the people saw that. It was from a family member.
Was it recently, Judge?
I can't remember. It was a week or two ago. My point is I want to make this clear because there's these references to the county court, and I want to make it clear that the county court is not like my underling. They have their own court. This is my court. I did grant your request for a change to bond alterations, but as I stated at the time, I cannot control how other courts do that.
Okay.
So I don't get to order another judge, even if it's a county court level. They handle misdemeanors, we handle felonies. That's the delineation, not some sort of a overruling hierarchy unless there's an appeal to me.
Okay.
So I just want to make that clear that I have no ability to grant that relief. I can't order Judge Lynch or Judge Villasenor or any other judge to do something like that. I just want to make that clear.
I appreciate
so that because it's important for that to make that clear because we will have to address that. At this time, I'm not going to order a competency evaluation just based on my recognition of I won't call it a philosophical bend of this with the UCC ones and all this and without, I mean, I understand what that is, okay? It's obviously a discredited and refuted legal doctrine. However, I don't know that that rises to the level of incompetent to, I don't think I have enough yet at this point to.
I don't think I agree with that. I think every sovereign citizen should get a competency evaluation, to be honest. Like, just the fact that they're delusional enough to believe any of this stuff is indicative that they are not in the right mind to be able to defend themselves, but whatever.
Order that. As we proceed, though, I'm going to set this matter in for another, for a next hearing. Is there any, because you're representing yourself.
Yes, sir.
We've gone over the advisement about that.
Yes, sir.
And you still intend to represent yourself?
Yeah, I'm willing to take this to a jury trial, and
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine, and I don't really feel like I need any kind of representation for.
And you certainly.
Oh yeah, that unearned confidence spells great things for your future.
That's your right as well, is to represent yourself. What I'm asking is, do you have contact information with the DAs so that this matter can be addressed for our next hearing?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, they have all my address and everything else. I mean, I've been corresponding and serving them with the notice of the motions, obviously, which they got. My question to you is, am I going to be arrested today?
Short
Division that is not.
behind you is preparing for.
There is a warrant out of another division that is not mine. That there is a warrant that is active. And
So
so
are these guys going to arrest me right here?
they're at the end of this proceeding, they will.
Well, that's no fun. Overthought with 100 bits says, this issue isn't if they're competent or not, it's what the legal definition of competent is. That bar needs to be raised way up for self-representation.
Okay.
But again, that is not my warrant. That is from another division. So you will be, but let's set our next court date. And we're setting, now, if you said you intend to take this to trial, do you want me to set this for an arraignment? Which means you would be making your not guilty plea at that time and we would set it for trial?
Sure.
If you need to be told what an arraignment is, you shouldn't be defending yourself.
We will set this next matter for an arraignment.
Should never defend yourself, but...
So I came out here out of respect for your court. My question to you is, should I have showed up on WebEx again?
Once
I mean,
again,
would you have allowed me to appear on WebEx?
I do not allow anybody to appear on WebEx if they have an active warrant.
Okay.
I like that he was trying to get advice for next time he has to come to court with a warrant. Like, can I just, like, video call so you can't arrest me as easily? Apparently the judge has been asked that question before, though, because he has a whole caveat about it, so that's nice.
How am I able to get that quash if he's going to
from that judge?
Okay, but he's actively like fighting me, and every kind of ruling you make has been the back and forth.
My rulings and his rulings have to do with our own cases.
Okay.
So my rulings matter in my case, and your bond conditions were amended in my case, but I cannot make him do that for his.
Okay, and did you say that, is there a way to transfer it to this court, or does it have to stay at that lower level?
It is in his courtroom until it's not. That's what I can tell you. And it is in his courtroom. So
Okay.
that is his case. I don't take misdemeanor cases. We're here for felony cases.
Yeah, I understand that.
All right, so we have the 5th of March at 9:30 as our next hearing, and it'll be an arraignment so that you can enter your not guilty plea and we can set the matter for trial.
Okay.
If that's what you're asking to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to set for the 5th. Actually, we're going to make it 10:30. Hopefully that makes it easier for you. And for arraignment, if you're going to enter a plea, and whether that's a guilty or not guilty plea, we do ask that you be here in person so that you can enter the plea and we can set for trial.
Okay.
All right, because we have to make certain advisements to you about understanding the charges, the possible penalties to those charges, et cetera, and moving forward to a jury trial.
Okay.
All right. So we have our date set. Is there anything else to address? And I will be issuing orders. We've gotten a lot of them, and I've had trials, so I have them ready. We will be issuing orders on the motions that are currently ripe. I think some are not ripe yet, and that we have to hear responses.
Okay.
All right, anything else to address, Mr. Hillier?
No, Your Honor.
And what's the next dates? I'm sorry?
The 5th of March at 10:30, and that is for your arraignment, for you to enter your plea and set this matter for trial.
Okay.
as you requested. That is your request, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just need to make sure that's clear. You can exchange any information you need to with the prosecution so that you can talk with them. If you intend to discuss any matters with them prior to that, because you represent yourself, they can talk directly to you. But I have to give you the warning, of course, as always, as I tell everybody, if anything you do say to them, make sure you don't incriminate yourself.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thank you. I'll ask.
It's more to be a sovereign.
Is Mr. Stanley, who appears on WebEx 25
And here is his next hearing.
CR 745.
This is pretty brief.
People versus Michael Stanley. Now, Mr. Stanley, I saw your motion. However, I wanted to address it with you here because I don't know if you intend to arraign today or not. Let me get you unmuted. What I remember telling you when you were last here is that for a plea, not guilty or otherwise, we need to have you in person to make that plea unless the people are willing to waive any objection. Do you intend to plead not guilty and set for trial today, or did you intend, because we can set this for a time when you
Is
can
he going to object to jurisdiction, or is he just going to stand mute?
get here, so that I can accommodate the hardships of travel?
I'm so sorry. I just can't seem to catch a break. I can't make this stuff up. But whatever, if the state's willing to go with it, I want to expedite things. I don't mean to hold things up. I feel real bad. So if they're willing, I will enter a not guilty if we could do so today, please.
Do the people object to?
People would prefer to have them in person as standard procedure.
And there's reasons for that. We do it in person. You know, this is a trial setting. It's a plea receipt. We accommodate in many ways. Is there a time and date that I could set that would be convenient for you to get here so that I can help accommodate your travels?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Going back and forth and having new bonds written on my name makes things quite difficult. If the DA could take that into consideration. With that, I'm probably going to be looking to move out of Pinedale. Not that I'm coming down to Fort Collins because I don't really like the scenario down there, but maybe somewhere closer in Wyoming. So I don't know what the calendar, how it reflects, if it's 2 weeks or a month. I know it could go anywhere from 14 to 28 days. So,
I mean, if you're
what is
amenable
your-
to the 26th, we have some dates open. That's about 2 weeks out. Is that enough time to get you some arrangements to get here for the plea entering? That's 3 weeks.
To maybe push that. Yeah, is there any way to push that maybe just closer, a little bit closer to like 28 days or a month?
Let's see what we have to offer.
At least he's
To
not
kinda
doing
do what
SovCit
I've been
shit
trying to
right
do,
now.
and kind of, obviously I'm not in favor with him for reasons stuck to myself, but if I can get him to get on board, it would alleviate all this issue, to be honest.
Who is he trying to get on board?
How about April 2nd at 11?
Write this down.
11:30,
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
sorry, 11:30.
I'm sorry, this is 4/2/26 at 11 a.m.
11:30.
Oh, 11:30, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
11:30.
Just doesn't
Okay,
allow-
let's let's pencil that in, and hopefully maybe I can work with this guy in the county court because I already know there's probably another warrant out. But it's just been costing me a lot of money, and
He's very casual about picking up warrants. I've never had a warrant in my entire life. I think it would stress me out. He's just like, whatever.
lodging and travels, and me, that recent thing that happened. I mean, we're talking about $2,000 a trip at this point. I mean, it's I don't know who's got this kind of money, but anyways, yeah, I guess we'll
Right.
pencil that in,
And that's later in the day, so it should accommodate some travel. So we have,
well, and hopefully,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
hopefully, like I said, I can get a hold of Mr. Lynch, or Judge Lynch, I should say, and have him remedy the warrant situation. Hopefully, consolidate the cases, but I can't seem to get him to budge right now.
all right, well, I'll
Oh, the
leave that
other
between
judge.
you and
Thanks,
him, and
Just a
we'll
Peach.
see you on the 2nd of April, 11:30 for an arraignment, and I will take your not guilty plea at that time and set it for trial.
All right,
And
you have a
in
good day.
person, as you know. Thank you.
All right.
I'm interested where that's gonna go. He seems like he could get interesting when the actual trial comes. All right, let's see what's next. Let's try this. You might remember that this is the woman who was into the Nasara Jassara conspiracy. She's also a sovereign citizen, and this is a clip from a live stream she did recently with another sovereign citizen type, Moorish citizen type, I guess. who thinks that they're secretly the indigenous people of the United States and think that that gives them special privileges. So let's take a listen.
And then it was a rebirth the following day, which was yesterday. And that was the 123rd day.
Wow.
So now that you got a rebirth, check this out. Trump, this was breaking news today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trump fired Homeland Security Kristi Noem today.
Yeah, I just saw that.
You saw that?
Yes.
He replaced her with this guy named Mark Wayne Mullen. Well, who is Mark Wayne Mullen? He is a senator, but he's also, his citizenship belongs to the Cherokee Nation.
What?
What? And that's what I've been talking about restoring our people back to their land, right? So who's in charge of the homeland, right? The Cherokee.
So you think that because, and I don't even know this is true, but he's saying that because a person was hired to be the head of Homeland Security happens to be indigenous, you believe that that means that indigenous, specifically that the Cherokee, are in charge of the country. I'm assuming that they identify as Cherokee despite not being so, which is not great.
Yes, sir.
That happened today.
Hold on.
And it's going to continue to happen. Because right before that, they had...
Wait, say it again. I glitched. I couldn't hear you.
Okay. It's going to continue. Things like this is going to continue to happen from here on out. Okay? If you don't mind, go to the next image. I think I got something.
One more time. Can you tell us who he replaced him with? Her with, Kristi Noem?
Mark Wayne Mullen.
Mullen. Okay. He's a senator.
Yeah. Did you pull it up?
Yes, I did. I'm going to look at him right quick.
It says Mark Wayne Mullen is an enrolled member of the Cherokee Nation and serves as a U.S. Senator for Oklahoma, right?
There it is. Yes.
Yeah, becoming the second Cherokee Nation citizen to serve in the chamber.
Wow. This is really happening.
Yeah.
What in the non sequitur? What are they getting at? They think that because someone who is part of the Cherokee Nation was put in charge of Homeland Security, that secretly the entire Cherokee Nation will take over America and be the ultimate government, and the federal government will no longer have power.
Yes. And he emphasized...
So yes, they think they're going to be in charge because they believe they're indigenous, even though they are not, because this is a Moorish citizen thing.
The need to put Indian country first.
Well,
it's happening in real time.
It's happening. It's not
okay.
Yes, sir.
So if you don't mind, you can scroll down to the next image.
Okay. Here we are. Is this it?
Yeah. Now, like I told everybody before, I'm not just coming up with this from the side of my neck. Every time you see an H, it means a reversal. And this was part of the ceremony of King Tut returning. And everything agrees. So they have 3 H's on the west. And
oh no, are we including pop culture Egyptology in the myth? Yes!
3 H's on the east. Okay?
Combining appropriated indigenous peoples iconography with pop culture Egyptology. What else could you ask for?
And in the middle, they have the lights in the formation of a V. And the V is indicative of the inverted pyramid, which means Egypt of the West, which are the Americas. Okay.
The Americas are the Egypt of the West? I don't know if I've ever heard that one before.
That's why they have this whole Michael Jackson thing coming out next month with this movie, because 41 years ago was when they had the Victory Tour.
Wow. Okay.
Actually, it would have been 41 years in the late 2025. But this would be...
But this is close enough.
You know, carrying on over to that. That's when they first released the Michael trailer in late 2025. But yes.
I still can't. I still can't get over the guy that replaced Christy Neem being over the part of the Cherokee tribe. This is huge.
It's huge. Then they had a sniper thing that happened over there in Woodstock, Georgia.
Okay.
And it was on 575 Cherokee Road. And the Cherokee Police Department kicked in. That happened today too. That was breaking.
I don't even understand what the story was. There's a sniper on a road named Cherokee, and then they were arrested by Cherokee police. Okay. I guess that's a story. What do you think it connects to your new world government? Fennikagami says, I mean to mention this on Tuesday, but there is this new guy who's looking like he may become the new Jordan Peterson called Professor Jiang. He does so fairly decade, if simplified, pseudo-leftist material critique that has a habit of swerving into Illuminati and Freemason like how Peterson did. It might be due to keeping an eye on him, though his vids are kinda long and tame for Tinfoil Tuesday. Alright. Professor Jiang. Let me search this person on YouTube so I can save their channel so I can take a look at it. Alright, I have him saved.
News.
By the way, we're halfway through the stream, or a little over halfway. If you like the stream, consider liking it on YouTube. Just do the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it muchly. And if you want to support the stream, you can do memberships or super chats on YouTube, and subscriptions and bits on Twitch.
So they're letting you know that the Cherokee Nation is taking over.
Wow. Now, when they do stuff like that, it's on Cherokee Street, blah, blah.
Can we watch this guy more? He's deliciously nutty. I don't know if he has his own YouTube channel, because he's a guest on her channel. Let me look. Jacob Bay. Jacob Bay. Let's see if he has his own channel. Is this him? No. Looks like he does a lot of guest things on her channel, so we can definitely watch through there, but I don't see his own channel.
Yes.
Does it really happen, or we don't know? You know, did that really happen and they just made sure it was on Cherokee Street, or is this all a stage? You know, with AI, you just don't know what's real, what's not real.
Okay, so I can help you with that.
Okay.
The reason why you have gatekeepers, and they're gatekeepers for a reason.
Okay.
Because they knew that this day would come and that they had to stage things a certain way. They named the retail stores a certain kind of way, like JC Penney, right?
Yes.
So think about JC and then think about Penny.
Okay.
Well, JC represented Jesus Christ.
Now I gotta look up why J.C. Penney's called J.C. Penney. I assume it was someone's name. The founder of J.C. Penney was a man named James Cash Penney. I wonder how the store got its name.
Julius Caesar, which was Roman law, and also Jim Crow, right?
Whoa.
What?
Oh.
You think that J.C. Penney is Jim Crow Penny?
But then
Oh no!
And they had to take your credit, which was the penny.
They gotta take your credit. You know, pennies. Pennies are discontinued now, sir.
To take your credit, which was the penny.
Okay.
As in J.C. Penney.
I see. Wow.
They've been doing all.
What do you mean? Wow. Why do these people say wow? What do you what he didn't. He just said words. He didn't prove any of this. He didn't provide evidence for any of this. He just said fucking nonsense, and you go, wow?
Kind of stuff. Starbucks. Oh, where's that located? King County. We're the Kings. That's why they had the Seattle Seahawks in the last Super Bowl. They were talking about the Kings, and they were talking about the Patriots.
Now, who's that deity or the goddess that's on Starbucks on their?
Why are Seahawks associated with kings?
That's a siren.
It's a siren.
The siren is a mermaid.
Drawing you in.
Yes. Into the laws of the sea, into the water.
I think all sirens are mermaids, but I'm not sure all mermaids are sirens.
Wow. Wow.
Like Ariel's a mermaid. She's not a siren.
One minute, somebody said you're a mathematician. Family, if you are enjoying Sheik Jacob Bey, just remember he is writing a book where he's going to go into further detail, decoding a lot of things that's been going on behind the scenes.
He is 1,000% going to use AI to write that book.
Y'all send him some love. Somebody drop his Cash App for me in the comment section. Let me see if I can bring it up. Send him some love. Come here away from his very busy work sharing information to the Soul Tribe. If you want to support his work and you want to get on the pre-order list, then please email him at dejurelaw33@gmail.com. DEJURELAW33@gmail.com. If you desire to send him a donation. I see y'all in the chat. We got over 600 people still checking in, saying they really enjoy you on fire. Then you may send them a donation to $.
You know how much it sucks when you are watching like a crazy person stream and they have way more viewers than you?
All right.
Everyone's crazy.
It's reserved. All right, Sheik.
So if you don't mind, go into the next image after the H's with that Egyptian thing.
Okay.
Just a Peach with a tip says, the Seahawks are gulls. Sirens have more snake-like bodies or are connected to a larger body.
Whoa.
I don't know as much about sirens as I thought, apparently.
What you got?
Well, it's March, and you say March 22nd marks exactly 141 days.
Yeah.
March 22nd marks exactly 141 days since the beginning of the King Tut ceremony in
What's significant about 141? I missed that lecture.
Egypt. What?
Right?
March 23rd. 3-2.
March 22nd.
Get out of here.
322, March 22nd. Now,
March 22nd. Sorry. 322. March. Right.
And,
right.
and it's exactly 141 days since that ceremony at King Tut, right? Now I'm showing y'all what God's word and God's covenant really is, and that's restore you to Area 51.
It's been a while since I've heard a sovereign citizen or conspiracy theorist genuinely, like, I don't know where they're going one sentence to the next. They're so predictable now. This guy, I can't predict anything.
I'm going to show you this. Because if you break down the date, Doc, the date is 3/22/26. Y'all can add that up.
Huge Assel says, my goodness, look at the time.
Okay.
3 plus 22 is what? 25.
Is he more of a SovCit or a conspiracy theorist? Both? He uses his conspiracy theories to back up his sovereign citizen shit.
25 plus 26 is 51.
41.
51.
51.
Area 50.
Regardless, I'm watching the rest of this video because this man is insane and I love it.
51. That's God's covenant, right?
Okay.
Now, check this out. I also said 10 means God's promise and God's word to restore you to that. That's the promise. So 10 days after that is April the 1st, which is 41.
4-1. Get out of Dodge.
He threw the mic down on that?
Yes, ma'am. We are there. We are there.
I like that her contribution is just like,
Sheik, somebody has a question for you. They said, but the guy that replaced Neem is a $5 Indian. They've never accepted us, so I'm confused.
I don't know what that means. $5? What? Lilac Rosenberg says we should add watching cops getting arrested for DUI to Sovereign Citizen streams. I have been thinking about doing a stream that's cops misbehaving, because we watch a lot of cop stuff. And I don't know. I'd like to get some balance in there and show more cops breaking the law.
Actually, they are starting to accept us. But go ahead, Sheik. I just read about that.
You answered it.
Okay, yeah, they really are. They have to. It's our time. And he could be a $5. You know, some people that's light. I don't know if he's a $5 Indian or not, but just because people have light skin don't mean they don't have our blood.
What the fuck is happening?
I'm not saying he does. I'm just saying.
You know, in the Bible, it says that part of God's covenant was to give the land back to God's people.
Okay.
And those are the descendants of Abraham, right?
Yes.
Now, who is Abraham? We can say, some people say Abraham Lincoln. We can say whatever we want to, but right. Think about this. Who's on?
Wait, what?
Say Abraham. People.
Okay.
And those are the descendants of Abraham, right?
Yes.
Now, who is Abraham? We can say, some people say Abraham Lincoln. We can say whatever we want to, but right. Think about this. Who's on that copper-colored penny? Abraham. And what?
He thinks that Abraham of the Bible is related to Abraham Lincoln? Because of the name.
What direction is that penny facing? It's facing the right. So whoever's on the right-hand side of God, those are the ones that are the true descendants of Abraham. Now, if you want to get deeper, we take a nickel, dime, and a quarter. You add that up, it equals 46.
41 or 46. Wait. Nickel.
Yeah, you're right. It's 46. But when you add that copper-colored penny,
it's 41.
And it letting you know who the descendants of Abraham are the copper-colored people.
Okay.
You got people in the comment section, they can't get over his complexion. I didn't know white people could be O positive like us. Is he really a Cherokee? Somebody else says skin color has nothing to do with it. Why is the Cherokee leader Caucasian? I honestly think, and this is just me talking, that skin color does not necessarily relate to bloodline.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Can I say this to the people listening?
Yes.
It's now they have to assimilate to us versus us assimilating to them. That's all this is. So now it's going to be a Cherokee government, right? It's going to be laws of the land. And that's where we have to go to now. We're no longer going to have to be under the U.S. government. We have to now be under the government of the land. So if that's the Cherokee Nation, the Choctaw Nation, the Chickasaw Nation, the Creek Nation, or the Seminole Nation, we're all having to assimilate. And whatever the color you are, you having to assimilate to that.
Oh.
What is her input? She doesn't even need to be here. She doesn't add anything. Just a Peach says, some Native Americans from the South pass as white. They could be, referring to blue-eyed, blonde, ginger members of those tribes. Looks like Robert and Set looked it up, and that particular phrase refers to white people who paid to get on indigenous rolls to get land, according to Wikipedia. Okay.
And I also want to say right here, because somebody said, just because what they say, exactly, we have so many people who look like something else, but have our
Green guy says, can we just stop and start the class war now? You first.
blood. Absolutely. And then you have people that are brown.
Do I look like I'm suited for fighting?
That look like us, but they ain't us.
Right.
They're not. They aren't us.
Think about all those people who are actually from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you know how they talking about blue black?
Mm-hmm.
That's how dark they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the same bloodline. I'm sorry.
It's not.
It's
Oh.
not. So,
we've reinvented colorism and racism into a bloodline thing.
True heirs to this land, and really the heirs to the world, are the ones right here.
Africans would tell you, we get offended, but they'll tell you we're not the same. We are not. We don't have the same bloodline. We didn't sell you into slavery. We are not the same people. But we are so indoctrinated with what education systems have told us.
Zytam says, I know you can't play much of this. Let's see how much I can play. Probably that much. Don't even recognize the song, so I don't get it.
In Hollywood, that we get offended when they say we're not the same people. Same bloodline.
Correct.
Somebody said it's not the same bloodline. We even tan differently. Is that right?
All humans are related. We are all human beings. We are all part of the same species. Stop making random ways of dividing people so you can feel better about yourself by denigrating others. I'm so fucking tired of human beings.
Wow. Yeah. So that's not to say we can't do commerce together. We can't get along with each other. We can't do business with each other, because this new era into which we're going is all about what you taught me, the 5 tenets of the Moors.
Correct. Everything's going back to that. People are really going to just be blown away to see all the changes that are really starting to happen day to day to day. It's going to happen for the rest of your life. You're going to be seeing changes for the better, not for the worse, for the better. And your life is going to get better every day. Trump just signed just yesterday. He signed the what was it called? The repayment or something like that for utilities. You didn't see that?
No, I didn't.
Saying that, utility bills, especially your electric bills, are going to be very, very low.
Oh.
But the reasoning behind it is because the United States can't charge the American people for their own resources.
What are you First of all, do you think that the entire United States energy grid is owned by the federal government? Do you think when you, pay your electric bill, you're paying the federal government? No, either it's a municipal thing, or it's a private company. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Zytam with 40-bit says it was Paul Revere and the Raiders, Cherokee Nation. Yeah, I don't think I've heard that song.
Everything's going back to being America again. It's not the United States, right?
Okay.
So as long as it's that's why also they're talking about property taxes.
Yes, I saw the Pearl Harbor comment.
You can't be.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of surprised it took this long into the second term for him to say something exactly like that. I know he says terrible stuff all the time, but this, the Pearl Harbor thing feels like something he would have done the first term. Does that make sense? That feels like a first term Trump move. I feel like in the second term, I'm almost blindsided by oh, at least it wasn't deciding to nuke someone.
Be taxed on your own land.
Utility bills are not going down. We just went to war with the world's largest oil and gas exporter. Oh yeah, things are gonna be bad. And Israel fucked up a giant oil field like a day or two ago. Not great.
So you can't be taxed with your property taxes, right? Now the food belongs to you too. All the animals, all the plants and vegetables are on American land. So therefore they got to get rid of the grocery taxes. They doing it.
There already aren't taxes on groceries. Groceries aren't taxed. What?
And you and I talked about yesterday how he signed,
like, food isn't, it's a necessity.
That now large corporations can no longer buy single family homes. All this sounds like the National Economic Security and Reformation Act, Nasara.
I'm with you.
This is awesome. Awesome.
All these taxes, the IRS stuff, gone. Right?
Sorry, there's state taxes.
That's why they call it the External Revenue Service, because all the taxes now have to be paid into your crown. And your crown is like a tribute. You know, similar to that of how we had to do with Queen Elizabeth. We were paying into her crown. That's why when you go to the casino, it's called a royal jackpot, because they're letting you know if you hit the royal jackpot, boom, 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 you got to pay taxes to the crown.
Wow.
Right? And then you see the little black bars on the slot machine says bar, bar, bar. And you think, oh, I made some money. Hell no, you didn't. Because it says bar means BAR, British Accredited Registry.
Again, that's not true.
You still paying taxes to that crown.
Sheik, we got a testimony here. Sister Barbara says, wow, just got approved for electric reduction.
Congratulations. That's huge.
This is awesome. This is just beautiful. Family, are you enjoying this? I know I am. No school tax for the past 3 years. Beautiful. If they said it's making sense, everything you're breaking down is making sense.
Making sense, huh? That's a good segue to, well, send Jacob Bay a little cash app.
Michigan doesn't have sales tax on groceries, but some states do. Okay, that's why I was confused. I didn't realize that was a Michigan-specific thing.
Are enjoying the Sheik, and you like to bless him with a donation because you're expediting the publication of your book, and I can tell you that costs a lot of money. I know because I published a book years ago when it was cheap, and now talking to publishing companies, woo cha.
Vanity publishing companies.
If you're interested,
fun fact, real publishers don't charge you to publish your book.
And supporting Sheik Jacob Bay, and you'd like to send him a cash app, you can send it to $ all rights reserved. That's ALLSRIGHTS RESERVED. And if you want to get on his book mailing list, then just send him an email. He's been getting a lot of emails since he first came on this show, where you all have been asking him questions, getting on the email list, etc., saying you want to be first in line to get that book. So
how high do you have to be for this to make sense? We're about a month away from 420, so maybe we'll find out on the 420 stream.
Send him an email to DEJURELAW33@gmail.com.
And what's so cool about the book, y'all? You know, the way I break things down on here, I really go deeper. I go deeper and I show you things that you be like, man, this was happening all along and we just didn't notice it. And I've been working on this book since 2019. And it's so many pages, I'm having to break the book down into maybe 5 different volumes. Because that was the last.
All right, let's just talk about the book now. We can move on. Oh, what else do we have? We have a few more trial videos. This one's also courtesy of Team Skeptics channel.
Zoe Galloway, 25T3675. Miss Galloway appears.
What's Marcel up to now? Nothing really new. I pulled this video just in case. It's a video he did where he's talking to someone who's giving a testimonial about his services. But I've kind of held off on it because I've had more interesting videos. I'll let you know if Marcel does something particularly interesting. He hasn't in a while.
In person, good morning. Let's see, Mr. Contreras appears on behalf of the prosecution. I am a senior judge, Miss Galloway. Judge Meyer is in a 3-day trial, so I'm just helping her out with her docket since she was unavailable today. We didn't want to continue these matters. And give me 1 second here just to find your file. So I see that the case is 101 days old. You last appeared in court on December 11th. And looks like you did not want to fill out an application for the services of the public defender's office, and you did not want to speak to the prosecution. Is that right?
Well, Benekagami with 40 bits says, sorry about the incoherence of my last message. What I meant by Professor Zhang being the new Jordan B. Peterson, he's a new stupid man, smart man, who in reality is just a vehicle for conspiracy theories whose only real difference between him and Alex Jones or Candace Owens is that he wraps it in a calm and intellectual manner. He was recently on Breaking Points for predicting Trump's win and the Iran war in a video that has 8 million views, which is pretty rare for their channel, hence my concern. Oh, great. Great.
First of all, I'm here on special appearance.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
You're not here on a special appearance. You're actually here on a summons issued by.
I am here on special appeararance. And by the way, I also filed a notice of presentment. Unfortunately, it was sitting in the mailbox for about a week.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. Well,
I love this judge immediately. I don't know what that means. Go away.
Conditional acceptance offer?
I don't know what that means.
Okay. Well, the prosecuting party has not yet established mens rea, actus rea, corpus delicti, and or provided any proof of an injured party.
That's why.
If your state of mind is relevant to the case and you go to trial, they'll certainly argue for it. They'll argue that your state of mind is whatever is necessary to convict you if mens rea is something that actually matters here, which I doubt it is.
We have trials.
Okay. Well, they have to do that in order to establish subject matter jurisdiction.
Okay.
So
sounds like we're going to set this case for trial today.
Okay. Well, I will only conditionally accept if the prosecuting party develops subject matter jurisdiction.
It's not an agreement. It's just you're going to have court. If you don't want to settle, there's going to be a trial.
It is officially being questioned, so they have to develop that. And they have to, present actus rea and mens rea.
Yeah, I heard what you said. My question to you is how.
Actus rea is guilty act, mens rea is guilty mind, I believe.
You wish to plead guilty or not guilty? We're setting this case for trial today.
Okay, so I have a conditional acceptance.
I don't know what that means. All I'm asking you is how do you wish to plead? If you choose not to answer my question, I'll just enter a not guilty plea on your behalf.
Okay, so.
How do you wish to plead?
I will only conditionally accept under the conditions that the prosecuting party within the next 14 days is able to establish all of these
I'm
elements.
denying your request, and I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf since you're refusing to do so on your own behalf. And so this is going to be a one-day trial. The trial will commence on
March 25th at 8 a.m.
March 25th at 8 o'clock in the morning.
So I want to point out that I am
Sorry,
the,
I'm not
yeah.
finished talking. The
So
pre-trial ready-
I am the only injured
I
party
am
in
so
this
sorry,
case.
but when I talk,
So-
you don't. When you talk, I don't. The pretrial readiness conference will be on.
19th at 2.
Okay.
Are you a neutral judge in this matter?
Am I? What?
A neutral
No, I'm really biased against you. I hate you and your hair.
judge in this matter? Or are you
A
on?
neutral judge?
Yes.
I don't know what that means.
You know what neutral means?
I don't know what you're asking.
Are you on the prosecutor's side or are you neutral in this matter?
I am not a prosecutor. I'm not a defense attorney. I'm a senior district court judge assigned.
Are you on the prosecutor's side or are you neutral in this matter?
I just answered your question.
You did not answer my
Okay,
question.
well, if you're not satisfied, I'm sorry. The motions hearing will be on.
This guy's pretty good.
March 10th at 2:30. The motions hearing will be on.
February 27th
At 11.
So be aware that I placed a bond on this matter and a notice of presentment.
Okay, thank you. And so let me just recap what we're doing. We are having a jury trial. Right now, you are presumed innocent, and it's the prosecutor who has to prove actus reus and mens rea and all of the elements for the crime that you're charged with to a jury of 6 unanimously beyond a reasonable doubt. That trial will be conducted
6 people, so it's either a misdemeanor or a traffic thing.
On March 10th at 2:30 in the afternoon. Excuse me.
Based on, I would guess, misdemeanor.
That trial will be on March 25th, beginning at 8 o'clock. We're going to have a pretrial readiness conference to make sure the parties don't have any last-minute issues. That'll be on March 10th at 2:30. I'm setting a hearing on February 27th at 11 o'clock for any motions that need to be resolved. I'm going to mail to you a pretrial discovery order. And essentially what it says is that the parties need to endorse witnesses within 30 days of today's date.
Is she going to bring up the gold fringe flag behind the judge?
Any motions need to be filed within 30 days of today's date. Any expert witnesses need to be endorsed no later than 30 days prior to the pretrial readiness conference. And again, you'll be receiving a copy of that. Jose, I'll need to send you this.
So the prosecutor needs to be aware they have 14 days to respond to this notice of presentment.
They do not. I'm the one who sets those deadlines, and they do not have to do what you say.
I love him.
Ubius ibi remedium.
And so say.
Ubius ibi remedium.
What does that mean in Latin?
And so.
Does anyone speak Latin?
Say.
Ubius ibi remedium.
And
someone with Latin knowledge, tell me what she said.
Do what you say.
Ubius ibi remedium.
And so. I see that you're currently on a summons, and your summons is continued until the next court date. If you don't show up, a warrant will be issued. Have a nice day. Thank you, Ms. Galloway.
Well, that's ignore the hearing.
Galloway, 20 feet to call Ms. Galloway's case. Okay, the court calls People versus Zoe Galloway, 25T3675. Ms. Galloway appears and is coming forward. Mr. Lemieux appears on behalf of the people. Good afternoon, Ms. Galloway. The case is set.
Your Honor, I'm Zoe G. Kendrika Galloway, and I repent of all my.
Denrich says, ubi jus ibi remedium is a Latin legal maxim that translates to where there is a right, there is a remedy. Thank you.
Sins, and I'm here on special appearance, not general appearance, and I reserve all rights with explicit reservation. Your Honor, does the court's record reflect that this court is in possession of my valuable negotiable instruments being acceptances?
You wrote them fake negotiable instruments?
So, Ms. Galloway, first of all, I'm going to ask that you hold on.
Oh yeah, she repents her sins.
Does the court's record reflect all rights with explicit reservation? Your Honor, does the court's record reflect that this court is in possession of my valuable negotiable...
Afternoon, Ms. Galloway.
I want to hear it again.
The case is set.
Your Honor, I'm Zoe G. Kendrika Galloway, and I repent of all my sins, and I'm here...
I repent of all my sins.
On special appearance, not general appearance, and I reserve all rights with explicit reservation. Your Honor, does the court's record reflect that this court is in possession of my valuable negotiable instruments being acceptances?
So, Ms. Galloway, first of all, I'm going to ask that you hold on for a moment. Okay, I need to make a record. So, Mr. Lemieux appears on behalf of the people. We are set today for trial readiness. The case is scheduled for trial on March 25th at 8 o'clock. The 3 remaining counts after the court received proof of insurance and dismissed that count are speeding 10 to 19 miles over the speed limit, driving without a license, and driving with fictitious plates. Mr. Lemieux, are the people announcing ready for trial?
The classic SovCit trio.
People already are.
Okay. And Mr. Lemieux, have you extended an offer in this case?
We have.
Okay. And just for the record, can you just put that on the record, please?
Your Honor, how is it that this court
Oh God, don't
can
talk.
retain custody of all the discharge instruments being my negotiable acceptances, yet still attach charges to my physical body when discharge has already occurred?
So, Ms. Galloway, I don't know what any of that means. I know that you filed a number of motions with the court that make no sense to the court, and I don't know what any of those
Your
things
Honor, how is it
mean.
that you can draw draft instruments on an account that you control, that you have made the prosecutor and junior security interest and accommodation party on, that you
Okay,
send
so
those
Ms. Galloway,
to me,
I asked Mr.
and that you
Lemieux
do
a
not
question,
understand
and I'm
what they
waiting
are?
for him to respond to the court, so I'm going to ask that you stop interrupting. Mr. Lemieux, if you could just make a record for the court as to what the offer is that's been extended in this case, so it's clear to Ms. Galloway what the offer was
I guess
or is.
I'm looking at the notes, and it looks like when we tried to convey offers previously, the kind of same thing that happened now just happened again. So I'll just convey the offer here then on the record to plead guilty to speeding 5 to 9 miles over the speed limit. But there's no-
Excuse me, but does
Stop
the
interrupting.
record reflect I do not plead guilty, but that I plead equity?
Well, you should.
You can't. This is not a civil. This is criminal.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Galloway. Please,
For a sovereign citizen to.
gets a chance to talk. Mr. Lemieux, the offer is plead to speeding 5 to 9 miles.
$7 fine, and then plead guilty to expired plates, Your Honor.
Okay. So it sounds as though that's the offer that the people have extended. It's pretty clear, Ms. Galloway, that you're not interested in that. We are set
Actually,
for
excuse me,
trial.
but does the court's record reflect that I have accepted all presentments and offers of the court, the clerk, and the prosecutor, and I have returned them for discharge of this matter? How is it that this court can retain custody of all those acceptances yet not recognize that discharge has already occurred?
Because you sending in nonsense paperwork doesn't do magic things that makes them drop the charges.
So, Ms. Galloway, the only way that you are entering a plea in this case is if it happens on the record in front of the court.
Does the record
So-
reflect that I plead equity today?
So there's no such thing as pleading equity in this case based on the allegations. If
So
you want to
you're-
accept the DA's offer, you're certainly welcome to do so.
Does the record reflect
would
I
be
have accepted
happy-
and returned all presentments and offers of the prosecutor, the court, and the clerk? And
But Ms.
it-
Galloway, the DA's office has not filed any plea paperwork with the court that you've signed and returned to the court. I've never been provided any proposed agreement between the parties in this case.
Does
So
the
if
record
you
reflect that
want
I
to
have
accept-
sent my plea of equity to the court, the clerk, and the prosecutor in this matter?
So,
and
Ms.
that
Galloway,
do
I have
plead
received
equity?
all
Guilty, not guilty, and nolo contendere. Those are your options. Yeah, I think equity is a thing in civil court, not as a plea, but as some other concept.
of
So
the-
I'm assuming that's where sovereign citizens are pulling the phrase from, though they're using it completely incorrectly and trying to make it a plea. Wannabe, thanks for Tier 1 6 months in advance. Thank you so much.
things that you have filed in this case, they're all reflected in the court file.
Does the court record that I
Again,
did not file anything? And Your Honor, I accept your dishonor in this matter. Does the
Okay.
record reflect I
Burn.
plead equity?
Okay,
And
so
how
Ms.
is it that
Galloway,
you do not
we're set
understand
for
the-
trial then on March 25th at 8 o'clock. I'm not going to go back and forth
Okay.
with you. So clearly you're not accepting the DA's offer, which is absolutely your right. We're scheduled for jury trial on
Does the
March
record reflect I
25th
do
at
accept
8
and
o'clock.
return the DA's offer?
So the DA just explained to the court today that today is the first time that they've ever extended an offer that you have been able to listen to. If you want to accept the DA's offer, I'm happy to pass the case, have you read through some paperwork and recall the case, but plea paperwork has never been filed with this court.
Does the record reflect I hereby accept and return the prosecutor's offer for full settlement and closure of this matter?
So are you wanting to accept the DA's offer?
No! She thinks if she says, what the fuck is the stupid phrase they say? I accept for value and return for value is the sovereign citizen term for this. They think that they can, like, look at the offer, say no, and return it for the same value, as in there's no contract or something in the giving and taking, and then you can basically just say, okay, I took it, I evaluated it, I returned it with no contract, now you have to drop everything. Which isn't how any of this works. It's either you take the offer or you go to trial. There isn't really another option.
Offer to plead guilty to speeding 5 to 9 miles over the speed limit and driving with expired plates.
Does the record reflect that I accept through assent, not consent, and that I have accepted and returned all offers?
So Ms. Galloway, your options, if you want to
and the
accept,
prosecutor.
your options, if you want to accept the DA's offer, are to plead guilty or no contest.
And what's the other option?
To proceed to trial on March 25th.
And does the record reflect that I plead equity? And if you do,
that's not a thing you can plead.
Not, Your Honor, if you do not understand equity pleading, surely you have a duty and an obligation to recuse yourself and place me before a judge who does understand equity pleading so that I can settle and close this matter today.
She called the judge stupid, basically. That's always a good move.
Does the record reflect that I have honored your court by accepting and returning all presentments and offers, and that this matter has been fully discharged already?
So, Ms. Galloway, the matter has not been fully discharged. As I've explained
I
repeatedly.
accept your dishonor.
I accept your dishonor.
The DA has extended an offer today. Do you want to accept the DA's offer today?
Does the court's record reflect that I accept by assent, not consent, and I return it in personam to the prosecutor and the judge and the clerk for full settlement and closure of this matter?
No, that's not how any of this works. You don't get to unilaterally close the case. If that was how it worked, no case would ever happen, ever. H-Baird says she's establishing dominance over the judge. Real alpha move.
For today.
Does the record reflect I already answered that question, and then I accept by assent, not consent, and I attach it to the prosecutor in personam for full settlement and closure today?
Okay, so the court's going to take that as a no. We're set for
Excuse me, does the
trial
record
on
reflect
March
that the judge is
25th at 8
obfuscating the record
o'clock.
by putting a false words into the mouth of the defendant and denying the defendant due process rights?
Ms. Galloway, I'm not denying you any due.
The due process would be you going to trial or having the right to go to trial. That's the due process.
Due process rights. We're set for trial. Your options are to accept the DA's offer or to proceed to trial. I'm not going to keep going in circles with you.
Okay,
So, Mr. Lemieux,
I
I'm
accept
gonna
and return
impose
trial to you in personam for full settlement and closure. Judge, I accept your dishonor in this matter for retaining custody of the negotiable instruments, yet not recognizing that discharge has already occurred. Judge, isn't it true that in accordance with the exemption of the constitutional clause, the acceptance is the only means of payment? And that negotiable instruments must be accepted on the face of their value, and therefore
Galloway,
full
this is
settlement
not a
has been-
civil case. This is not a money case involving two parties in a contract. This is a criminal case where there are traffic offenses that have been alleged against you. So again, as I've indicated, if you would like to accept the DA's offer, you are absolutely free to do so. But your options then are to either plead guilty to the two charges as the people have indicated, or for you to plead no contest.
Does the record reflect I plead equity and I return all presentments and all offers to the prosecutor? And Your Honor, I know you and I both know that while this purports to be a criminal matter, it is actually commercial in nature, right? Otherwise,
No, it's not.
Why is there?
Her attitude reminds me a little bit of Sarah Boone, the suitcase murder we covered on True Crime Watch. Just incredibly overconfident, assumes she knows better than like the judge or anyone else.
There a QSIP number attached to the bonds on this case. And Your Honor, do you have a financial interest in this matter?
No, she doesn't. Why would she?
Isn't it true that this court has already packaged several bonds and attached and handed them off to an indentured trustee to be prepared for securitization on the open market?
No, none of that's true. That's all sovereign citizen bullshit. Sovereign citizens think that when you go to trial for something criminal, the state makes money, which doesn't make any fucking sense. The state doesn't make money prosecuting you. It spends money doing it.
Galloway, you were issued a summons in this case. You've never posted a bond, and this court has absolutely zero financial interest in this case. Mr. Lemieux, the court is going to give the people until March 20th at noon to file your proposed instructions, good faith witness list, and good faith exhibit list. The court will then give Ms. Galloway until
H-Beard with 40 bits says, she's in one of those states where the prosecutors say they're representing the people. She should demand a referendum to see if people want to charge her. For more tips, buy my $10,000 course.
March 24th at noon to file any proposed changes to the people's instructions, her good faith witness list, as well as her good faith exhibit list. Ms. Galloway, we're set for trial on March 25th at 8 o'clock. So we'll begin with jury selection. There'll be probably about 30 members of the public here. The parties will both have an opportunity to ask questions of the potential jurors, and then ultimately we'll select a jury. The parties will have the opportunity to select a jury of 6. We'll then proceed to opening statements. The people will then have an opportunity to present any of their evidence. You will have the opportunity to ask questions of any of their witnesses. You'll then have the opportunity to testify yourself, present any witnesses or evidence that you have, and then both sides will have an opportunity to make a closing statement. Do you have any questions generally about how the trial will proceed, or any basic trial procedure questions that I can answer for you?
Does the record reflect I employ my equitable right of rescission and rescission anything that I may have unknowingly acquiesced to in this?
This is not a contract. There's nothing to rescind. You do not need to agree to this. Your consent is not required.
Matter, and that I do indeed plead.
She's leaning very hard on the contractual part of the sovereign citizen stuff. She's very focused on consent and withdrawal and her specific paperwork.
Equity.
Does the record
that I accept your dishonor and attach trial to you in personam for full settlement and closure of this matter?
Again, Ms. Galloway, I don't know what any of that means. None of those words are criminal terms that are in the statutes or the Constitution of the Colorado Constitution or the federal Constitution. There's no option to plead.
Sorry, there's a tip. Just a Peach says, magic words, more magic words. Why is this not working? I gave them my paperwork. They only work as toilet paper.
Need equity. I don't know what you're referring to.
I think sovereign citizen paperwork would hurt my butt.
You repeatedly what your
I require at minimum 2-ply, and it better be plush.
Options are. So at this point, I've imposed deadlines for.
Also, we have a bidet. If you've not been bidet pilled yet, let me tell you, it's incredible. Get a bidet. You can get a cheap one that attaches to your toilet on the internet. They're like $20 to $40. You'll never feel fresher.
For trial.
Does the record reflect I plead equity, and the judge is obfuscating the record by entering a false plea on behalf of that defendant? And your judge, if you do not understand the negotiable instruments laws of the state of Colorado, the United States of America, and the accounting on this matter, surely you have a duty to recuse yourself of this matter so that I can be put before a judge who does understand equity, so that I can settle and close this matter and bring full honor to your court.
So Ms. Galloway, as I've referred to you repeatedly, as I've explained repeatedly, this is not a civil case. There is no money. There's no negotiable contracts.
Your Honor, are you trying to overturn hundreds of years of an equity jurisprudence?
With the court?
She's so cocky.
The court is following the procedures required of me, so we'll see you back here on March 25th at 8 o'clock for jury
I wonder if she's going to show up. That's in like a week.
trial. Thank you.
I
The
accept your
court is in
dishonor and I return
recess
it back
in
to
this
you in
case.
personam for full settlement and
Ms. Galloway, the court's in recess on this case. We'll see you for trial on March 25th at 8 o'clock. Thank you.
All right.
I want to see that trial so bad. All right. This is actually the next one is, I don't know if you remember her. This is an image from the last time she showed up. There's no video of this hearing, unfortunately. There's only audio. But this will be played like for the visual during it. So if you don't remember her, she was quite annoying. But let's hear how this hearing goes.
Office.
I did.
Can you describe that oath to us?
I do not recall the oath.
To a jail sentence.
Did you take an oath of office?
I did.
Can you describe that oath to us?
I do not recall the oath word by word from when I started through the sheriff's office.
Do you realize there's a difference between a driver and a traveler?
I don't understand the question.
Do you know what a driver is?
Yes.
Do you know what a traveler is?
Yes.
So you do understand the question. Do you know the difference?
I believe they're the same. Driving and traveling is the same.
You're not. That's how I wound up with 8 cops around me, because you didn't have a ticket book and neither did your husband.
I don't know if that's why.
That is why.
Ms. Real, I'm going to interrupt you real quick. Okay, you're fine. You're doing fine asking questions, but there shouldn't be any sort of commentary after that question. You'll have an opportunity later.
Was your husband in uniform?
Yes.
You're sure of that?
Yes, he was wearing a polo shirt that was provided by the Conejo County Sheriff's Office that did indicate that we were with the Sheriff's Office.
Okay, because when he pulled me over, he was in a pair of shorts, shoes. Okay, didn't have a uniform on.
Ms. Real, is that a question or is that just commentary? I've already warned you once, no commentary.
I don't even understand how this happens so often with pro se litigants. They're like, at the base level, when you're doing like questioning a witness or something, it's very clear. You ask questions, you do not opine, but they always make this mistake and try and turn the questions into a way of just talking about whatever they want.
A question, perfectly fine.
So then you weren't patrolling the carnival.
Is that a question, Ms. Real?
Were you patrolling the carnival?
Yes.
Then you would have known what I was doing that day.
Again, that's a statement. That's a statement. Then you would have known. That's a statement, not a question.
Ms. Real, for the 3rd time, right? I'm going to tell you, if you have a question, ask a question, not commentary.
You said you followed him?
Yes.
So then you knew where he was.
Ms. Real, this is the last warning you're going to get.
She can't stop.
Okay? Look at me, Ms. Real. No more commentary. You may not like the answer to the question, but you've asked the question, she's answered the question. The jury can then decide the credibility of the answer. But you don't get to comment at this stage. You get to ask questions at this stage.
Can I ask why you cannot say your oath of office?
Can I ask why you cannot say your oath of office?
I don't remember it word by word, and I don't want to say something that isn't fully true.
Is this part of your duty? Are you required to know it?
Ms. Real, you don't need to object, Mr. Barnett. Ms. Real, you've asked that question and you've asked it multiple times. I've been very lenient with you, very lenient on your questions, okay? She's answered it. Move on to your next subject.
I have no further questions.
All right.
Well, she does so inside next.
Mr. Campos, are you an agent for the state?
I am a deputy for the Conejo County Sheriff's Office.
When are you required to turn your lights on, like when you're pulling somebody over?
I did not have lights, so when I flagged you down, I asked you to pull over. So I did not have lights on the ATV.
Are you aware that the only time you are supposed to use your lights?
Wait, if he didn't even have lights on the vehicle, why is she even bringing up the light point? This is something that sovereign citizens do. They cherry pick a federal code about certain federal vehicles not being allowed to turn their lights on unless there's an emergency. And then they think it applies to every cop in the country. It's untrue.
Is when there is an emergency? Was there an emergency that day?
There was a traffic contact that I needed to make because
Was it an emergency?
it could have been with the way the driving was, the driving that I observed.
Are you aware that the state or an agent for the state cannot be a witness to the case?
Again, she just wants to make statements, but she's trying to wedge them into questions.
That they are party to?
I was the investigating officer, so I would be a witness to the case.
Were you aware that I was a vendor at the carnival that day?
From your conversation with Chief Rendon about your vendor's license and needing a vendor's license and stuff, I assumed you were selling food and stuff, so.
Yes, and I did have a food handler's permit. Is a traveler required to have a driver's license?
No, a traveler is not required to have a driver's license, but an operator of a motor vehicle is required to have a driver's license. A traveler could be anybody going from one point to another, either by walking, riding a bus, riding a bike. That's a traveler.
Is a driver considered someone working in commerce?
No. Driver is anybody who is operating a motor vehicle, in control of that motor vehicle. They don't even have to be moving the vehicle. As long as they're in control of the vehicle, sitting in the vehicle with the keys in the vehicle, then that's still a driver of the vehicle.
Is a traveler considered someone who works for commerce?
When you say
No!
license, brief
Closing argument.
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I would just like the jury to know that there are things that are false and deemed to be made true.
She has a food handler's permit, but not a license. I wonder if it was a food truck, too. How would they feel about food trucks? Because you're kind of driving for commerce. You're driving your kitchen to the place to sell food. That's commerce. You know what I mean? Love a food truck.
There are, anyway, I just want to say, do not be deceived. You know, because there are things that are false and they're deemed to be made true. And I feel this is what's going on in this case. I have nothing further for you.
All right, Ms. Rael, let me explain a little bit about what happens now. Again, you were found not guilty of count 3, which is the most serious of charges in this case, is an unclassified misdemeanor. You were found guilty of class 1, class 2, or count 1, count 2, and count 4. So
What was count 3?
careless driving, driving under restraint, and no insurance provided by the driver. Given what we've had kind of a long day today, what I'm going to suggest is that we set this over for sentencing. I'm not going to request any sort of PSI in this case, given that they're traffic offenses. I believe it would be appropriate, but
Was it drunk driving?
I'll set it over for sentence.
I wonder why they said not guilty on that one. I wonder if they just didn't have a reading on her or anything.
In a couple of weeks, we'll come back here for sentencing, right? Ms. Real, you need to appear back in front of me in a couple of weeks for that sentencing. I'm going to explain something to you. I'm going to keep your bond in place. It's a $100 personal recognizance bond. You need to show up, okay? So you've come to other court cases and you've appeared, but we've had issues in the past, right? I had to issue an order 3 times for you to get your fingerprints done. And ultimately, I had to issue a warrant for your arrest in order to get your fingerprints done. I don't want to have to do that again, so I'm just pointing it out. I'm going to set this for sentencing in 2 weeks. I need you here in 2 weeks for sentencing, okay?
Your Honor, may I interrupt? I'm sorry.
You can.
I think a PSI would be appropriate in this case. Ms. Rael has a felony history. She served 8 years in the Department of Corrections on a case out of Denver, 2006. She has a significant criminal history. We were going to ask if she be remanded into custody today.
Well, had she been convicted of driving under the influence, I would have certainly considered it. But the fact that she's convicted of traffic offenses or infractions, there's no insurance, driving under restraint, I'm not going to remand her to custody today. I will tell you, I would have remanded you to custody, Ms. Real, today if you were convicted on driving.
Your Honor, I've already paid my dues for that case. I shouldn't have to pay them again.
Well, here's the thing, okay? So if there's that kind of history, I get to decide. Okay, now it's out of the jury's hands. Now it's in my hands. I'm the one that gets to decide what the appropriate punishment is for these violations. Okay, jury found you guilty of these. If there's a history there, then I think that does make some sense. I want to see that history. You may have paid the price that you have for those, but I can look at criminal history when I determine what the appropriate sentence is. Okay, so Based on that information, then I will order a PSI done for Miss Real.
H-Bird says, pro tip, if the judge is letting you off, don't interrupt
I'll set
him.
it's going to be set out longer. I'm not going to set it in 2 weeks. It's going to take longer than that to get a PSI. Okay. That means you have to report to probation, Miss Real. All right.
Probation?
Yeah. So they can do a PSI with you. Probation is
What's this PSI?
It's called a pre-sentence investigation report, Ms. Real. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this matter over for sentence.
She got acquitted on the most serious charge and she's still pissed.
And I'm going to set it in April, on April the 21st. We'll come back for sentence.
She's about to say the dumbest possible thing. Everybody brace. This is truly the definition of grabbing defeat from the jaws of victory. This is really, really stupid what she's about to do.
Sing at 11 o'clock.
She was gonna get to go home!
Right? So, April 21st at 11 a.m. I'm ordering Miss Real.
No, it's not that bad, Jay's a proxy. It's just real stupid.
Again, the bond will remain in place. It's a $100 I think PR bond at this point. You are ordered to report to probation in Alamosa at the Judicial Center, and so that you can do a pre-sentence investigation report so that I can have that prior to sentencing. Do you have any questions about that, Ms. Real?
I don't know where that is.
It's located in Alamosa. Do you know where the Justice Center is in Alamosa?
You mean the courthouse?
Courthouse?
Yeah.
It's right there at the courthouse. All you gotta do is go to the courthouse. Walk in, walk through security and say, I'm here to see probation about doing my pre-sentence investigation report. Probation will know that you're there. So check in with them, then they'll schedule a time for you to come back in and you can set that appointment, okay? You might be able to call them before you go first to see if you can set up an appointment. It might save you a trip, okay? So I'd reach out to them first. Might save you a trip down there. Right, that is an order of the court. Explain it to you again because we've had this issue in the past. Either you go, if you don't do that and I get report that you haven't showed up, I'll issue a warrant for your arrest. Is that clear, Ms. Real? Either you understand that or you don't, Ms. Real.
Well, I know what you're saying. You told me what I gotta do.
So that means you understand it?
I do not understand. I don't like that word.
Okay. Are you going to comply with the order that I just issued?
Well, we'll see.
No,
We'll see is not a good thing to say to a judge when they ask if you're gonna go to probation.
See today because, okay, based on that, I'm going to go ahead and remand you to custody today. You're going to be going to custody today because I'm not going to play. I don't know. I'm not going to play. No,
Wait
not
a
going to
minute.
not going to play around, Miss Real. There's no, stop. Your
Wait a
time.
minute.
No, Miss
Wait a
Real.
minute.
No, I'm
Judge,
not.
yes.
No, I'm not waiting a minute. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to set $1,000 cash or surety bond, $100 bond. You're going to be remanded to custody. You bond out, you go to probation. If you don't, probation will contact you. This is what I'm talking about, Ms. Real. You come in here and you say, well, I don't understand. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I just asked you. No, stop, Ms. Real. Stop.
Just the wording,
No,
Your Honor.
no,
Wait
I'm done.
a minute. It's
Nope.
the wording.
Nope, I'm
And
done.
you've committed treason in the
You can
case.
tell me I've treated
You've done it twice already.
Nope, we're done. Ms. Real,
You've done it twice.
please take her into custody. Your bond is set at
Let me
$1,000
get this
cash or
to my
surety
son.
or $100 cash. You will comply with the court's orders because I'm not going to do this again.
and that, my
Jesus Christ. Imagine just fucking up that bad time and time again. Little relatable. Alright, so that's what we're gonna do for today. Thank you for hanging out and watching even more Sovereign Citizens. This was a fun one. I will be back tomorrow. Not sure exactly what we'll be doing. Maybe we'll start watching the Afro Man trial. Maybe? I'm not sure. Depends on what I see. I'll have to go look into it more so I know more about it. But that might be fun. If not, we'll do some tinfoil thing probably. So anyway, have a great night, everyone. Let's see who we're gonna raid on Twitch. You posted it in Chuds. Thanks, Jay's a proxy. Have you rated Tina recently? All right, Tina. All right. See y'all tomorrow, or if you don't see the stream for some reason, I'll see you Saturday. So have a great night, everyone. And sweet dreams or something, because I'm in a Freddy costume. I don't know. I'm not clever. Bye, everyone.